slow off, gives the vision for the snowball. TP from No-Tails coming in towards the shrine, but Thompson, he's trapped.
That's twice in the series that X-Nova just comes out of nowhere. Like, he's just on a warding expedition, then he just ends up wrapping behind these people constantly.
Perfect time.
Perfect timing, and has the Senton creep to boot. And look at these deep wards that he's placed during that time that he was running around doing so. He now has full vision of OG. Yeah, he sees Ana farming these Ancients right now.
Oh, Ana. FY just giving so much information for the team. He's got eyes on him. Get the punch on the wrong target, but the snowball pass will catch Ana. Ana, he's in trouble. The blood bright silence connects. He's got the man to back up in a second, but can he really play his way out of this one? He cannot. Ana down for a minute and a half.
Just having all this vision. X-Nova throughout this whole tournament has had the best vision in every situation, even when you wouldn't expect it. They're just like, oh, they're fighting on the left side. They're not going to have vision over here. But no, X-Nova always seems to have those prepared in every situation.
And he has some incredible foresight to be able to have these wards that just lead to really clutch pickoffs. And Axe has not spent his money on BKB. He has the money, but he might be looking to save for buyback.
We'll see if any of the buybacks do get forced out. Thompson's still dead for 15. Ideally, he doesn't buy back it. They may have to buy back on Ana. He's gone for 50 seconds. The split coming out from Chalice. Is he ready to push in? Look for the stun on No-Tail to hold back the Chen as the mid-racks are exposed. PSG LGD, 40 minutes in, able to open into the base and clean out this mid lane of racks. Still Ana holding on to that buyback.
And they're going to keep going here. They really want to force this PL to come back here.
Stun onto Thompson. He will blink dodge it. But another tier 3 tower falling incredibly fast. They really don't want to use it. Seb jumps in, gets the call onto FY. There's the buyback. The Cataclysm isn't enough to do anything. It isn't. PSG LGD still fighting strong. Thompson getting focused by Somnus. Seb taken down by Arme. The triple buybacks now out as Ana in trouble. He's pulled back for this one. The deafening blast onto the three of them. Knocks them back, but Ana gets focused. Seb! He's in with the call. He has the control onto the morphing Somnus. Now being chased by Thompson. Blinks in with the cold snap. The PLR is on top of it. They get Somnus too. As OG, they have to expend 3 buybacks, but they hold on to the top racks. Somnus now down for 2 minutes. No buyback available on this Bloodseeker.
Yeah, he's 400 gold short of it. It's up in about 8 seconds. OG, they have to make so much happen here. They have to push out all their lanes. 2 of the side lanes are already going, but I think trying to get some kills here, like on FY here, would be very ideal.
I mean, look how close the Brew is at 25. I mean,
so close.
With that primal split cooldown.
Oh, Thompson, he sees it FY. He's used the snowball, he turns with the combo FY with the self-fuels, but OG, they've surrounded him. Seb jumps in with the call, the blade mail, FY's gone.
Instant buyback from FY.
Still that scary, scary time for LGD. 75 seconds without Somnus. OG have the full 5-man pushing in all 3 lanes at the same time as they approach LGD's base.
I don't even know if I give a head for that with this team fight. The LGD are been gold, but no blood take up to 60 seconds. This could be disastrous.
He's got a full BKB on Seb as well.
Chalice really wants to hit level 25 before he pops that primal split. So close.
Just got to be careful, Seb. Looking for that blink initiation.
Chalice is stepping back. They give him the tome. He needed like 5 experience, and they gave him the tome just to make sure that he gets it anyway. Just playing as safe as possible here.
Looks like OG don't feel that the window is big enough for them to push in whilst this Bloodseeker's still dead. They'll back away.
They can't. They bought back 3 heroes. They weren't able to get any T30s, and there's no Roshan up yet. Big Daddy No-Tail's praying for a Roche right now so we can get that refresher, but it's not going to be out. And maybe we'll dodge a bullet.
At least they got a good amount of economy off that, right? It was up to a 15k gold advantage, and they chunked it down to 7. Same thing with experience. So they did get quite a lot out of that one, but they ideally wanted to get at least one of those sets of racks to get some momentum pushing in with those 3 buybacks used.
Absolutely, it is this really scary moment of the game now for OG. We're about 5-6 minutes still without those buybacks available. If PSG LGD can find that one team fight, it could be the team fight to win TI in this window of time that they now have presented to themselves.
Ana's gone full in for that butterfly too. As they pick up also an Aeon discount Jeremy, so protected in O. DD did spawn, however, it was killed in 5.
It's also pretty scary for Maybe right now. He only has a 5-second BKB, and he does a lot of damage and will get wrecked by the X Blade Mail call if he finds him, especially with his BKB now. There's not that many ways to stop him.
It's just all about FY and Chalice, right? Just either saving or just getting into the midst of the fights and not allowing OG to get the picks.
And the smoke. It's going to be dispelled.
Let's get dispelled. But
Ana, he's in the trees. They're on the high ground. They've got the vision with the Shiva's covered. Ana's on his way over. They've got the snowball down. There's the counterplay. Seb jumps in. He's able to find the call onto Chalice, but Chalice already got the BKB out. The Sunstride's going to be down onto FY, but FY will survive. Seb pots the BKB. He'll try and stand his ground, but Seb, he's going to go down. No buyback on the axe. As Jerax as well, surrounded by PSG LGD. The Eon disc will proc, but they'll fight through it.
he has to buy back immediately.
Look at these creep track by these Force Spirits. On the bottom room, they have no creeps in the mid lane.
Sienna still holding on to that buyback on Jerax. But as Ben said, the creeps aren't here.
It's backdoor. Can they breach through it? It's not looking like it right now. Maybe everyone hitting the same one.
That creep cutting isn't enough to hold OG in the game.
You see No Tails already running to just, he doesn't care. He's going to throw his life for this. He needs to just keep these creeps out of the face, to keep that back door up. He doesn't care if he dies.
Which he certainly will, as they get upon him. They find his life. 1 minute now without No Tail and without Seb. Thompson, Ana, and Jerax. The only three heroes that can offer their defense during this final minute, this final stand.
Jerax is really trying to hold on to his buyback.
As Chalice split of course up once again. They're finishing off this second set of racks. He's got the Cyclone holding Ana up in the skies. As this rack's on the top lane will fall, the melee rack's gone. PSG LGD playing this carefully. As they'll go down towards the bottom as well. Arme, doppelgangers, he's losing a fair bit of mana as the PL. Still able to shift back into that Morphling if needs be. As OG, they will lose that top racks, but they won't lose the game. PSG LGD are playing it safe. They know how close they are to victory, and they will not throw it away.
And they know that the Roche is probably respawning pretty soon, and it actually is up, so that is that refresher shard. They already have pretty much infinite primal splits up anyway, but they feel very confident here.
They weren't able to deward that ward in the mid lane, so it looks like they are going for a Roche fake out.
Ana is on top of X-Nova. The Ghost Step's going to get the set. He's in. The call, the EMP, the counter, and FY is in. He's able to get the save off in time to keep this man alive. Get it off. Chalice is down. Buyback from X-Nova and Chalice. FY with the Invis. Somnus looking to get involved. Pots the BKB to get over the ice roll. They get on top of Seb. Seb's in trouble. Seb's gone. The axe down once again for 90 seconds. As now FY giving them the vision, but they see him. Got the doppelganger to jump away from the snowball over to Thompson, the self-fuels. FY trying to buy time for the rest of LGD to come in. Again, up into the air. Arme straight on top of No Tail. FY will fall. Arme looking towards No Tail. No Tail puts the hand of God, but No Tail beaten down by Arme and Somnus. Chalice gets the primal split off as Ana. He's been left behind in Thompson. He's got to do something incredible in terms of the combo. Can he find the angle? Jerax coming in, keeping Ana alive. Ana with the doppelganger. The deafening blast comes out onto the two of them. Ana trying to go in, looking for the kill. Can he find it in time onto X-Nova? He's on top of him, trying to beat him down. Ana again with the doppelganger, now retreating back towards the base. As X-Nova will survive. Jerax back in, the combo. Meatball down onto Chalice, but Chalice is so tanky. Bob the Shiva's gone. He's on top of Jerax. Jerax is gone. Ana as well. Can he really fight back against the Somnus? And X-Nova is so low. As the buyback for Jerax comes in, he's healing Ana back up. That buyback could set them up for the kill on X-Nova. The cold snap down onto the charge, and they find him. Arme, he's out of mana. He's starting to shift into the strength, but he's surrounded. OG, can they find the ball? They can! OG are still in the game. Arme buys back immediately. But now it's PSG LGD's turn to be without two of their supports. Seb's going to be back up in 8 seconds.
Oh my god, that buyback from Jerax onto that shrine, being able to save Ana, but Ana also toying with them with that doppel. He set the illusion. They thought that was the real one. They actually couldn't finish him off, even though they got the thirst vision of him for a second.
With the level 25 talent on the doppelganger, it's really hard to kill.
Seb,
yeah,
he's looking straight for the play. Can he find Somnus? He's hunting Somnus. He's there, Seb. He'll see him. Oh! Doesn't get the call though, and now Seb. He'll be ruptured. They're looking at him, but Ana, he's straight in on top of Somnus. Somnus puts the BKB. Ana again with the doppelganger. They see Cataclysm coming out. And Somnus still alive. Ana will be able to force him away. They've got the hex. They've got the control. They're on top of him. Can they kill him in time? They can. Chalice got for 2 minutes. And Seb, He's finding, looking for Ame. Big Daddy No-Tail gets the penitence out. Only onto the illusion though. Ame able to waveform up to the high ground. Ame should be fine here.
Thompson's got the ghost strike. He's got Hex
maybe.
up soon too.
Oh, the doppelganger Ame's over the trees. Can he hide his way out of this?
He's back. Real one.
Goes for the waveform. Seb tries for the call, but he's already out of there. Nice play from Ame.
And he buys so much time too for his team there. The Brewmaster was dead for 120 seconds, now only 90.
Still a big window for OG. They're only without Jerax for the same amount of time. And that lead the PSG LGD had, it is going down a little bit. Only 4K, 5K at the moment with these last few fights. Obviously the 25s now coming out on OG. Thompson's into the pit.
What a timely DD coming out for him too. I don't think they expected to be taken out as fast. He's almost able to solo it with the help of these summons. And that's a refresher shot. There's no way to get this. There's no way LGD can.
Oh, and the Seb level 25 too. That extra Berserker's Call AoE. It catches people out. They don't expect it.
It does not feel like OG T-Rex that.
Yeah. The Berserker's Call now is, I mean, the AoE is
massive.
really massive now when you have that talent.
It's so hard to play against. Can PSG LGD do it? They've got the Basher now for Somnus. For just a 2K lead with those last big comeback plays from OG. Still 30 seconds without Chalice.
Double Hex coming out now. Thompson and these 5-second BKBs. Yeah, I mean, they were flushing with their
FY.
Being spotted out.
Got the vision. They're on top of it. Thompson, he's in trouble. The Nullify comes out, but he got the Ghost Walk off as well as the Hex in time. Now, Somnus turns out, the blood runs down. Thompson! He's dead for 100. Has got the buyback available. PSG LGD will certainly look to force it out of them.
FY just what a shadow
catch.
blade. It just, yeah, as soon as they split up, he finds the perfect opportunity there on Thompson.
You got to be careful going out on the map when FY's alive. There's every chance in the world that he's going to be watching you from the trees.
And at this point, I think for Ame, it's actually going to be very worth it for him to actually just try and burn all the mana from the Phantom Lancer so he can't doppelganger all the time. That's causing huge issues in the team fights. And I see that Chalice is using his Dispel Magic every single cooldown on these Phantom Lancer illusions, but there's still way too many that are causing havoc in these team fights.
It's too constant. Like that doppel cooldown being 3 seconds just allows him to always be able to play around a little bit around the brew. They don't really have this crazy AoE when you look at LGD's lineup to just clear out those illusions. It's really a lot based off them just trickling them down slowly with like the Shivas and the Radiants and knowing exactly which one it is.
Yep, he doesn't have the crit talent, but now he does have crit from that Bloodthorn coming out.
It's a lot of damage that Anna can offer to the fights now.
And Brewmaster without BKB, very vulnerable. Cold Snap, Bloodthorn, Berserker's Call. There's a lot of ways that they can prevent him from getting that ult.
He just commits it from the back, just to be careful.
Make sure that he can get it off and get some damage in onto the tier 3s. Anna's going to start to try and fight against these Primal Split Brewlings. He'll be able to find one of them. He has been silenced. He'll take down the Wind Panda 2 as well by the looks of it. There's only the Earth Panda prevails. Seb jumps and he gets the call onto the Panda, popping the BKB as well, so they won't kill the Brewlings off. They do force PSG LGD away long enough that Thompson does not have to expend his buyback. It's Thompson back in the game.
And then they're utilizing the PL very well too, by replicating him, sending illusions to get some extra damage on the tower. It's just one Rax left that's holding LGD away from Mega Creeps.
And they're straight out. They're ready with the aggressive play, OG. Thompson, can he find a catch? He's close to having vision onto X-Nova.
Should be able to find X-Nova. He is stalking him. He got sights of him for a second. He's a bit far away though.
Oh, the tornado. It's got him. Thompson drops the combo down upon him. The stun comes out though. Oh, the counterplay. Jerax is there though with the heal, the tether. Keeping Thompson alive with the Abyssal Blade down. Candace here with the hand of God comes through. Thompson still alive, but Chalice gets the primal split out. He's been stunned. Thompson, the cheese, he's fine. Thompson, he goes down. They get the kill onto the Evoker. No-Tail being chased by Ame. The bash is coming through, but the blade mail was already out from Seb. He tries to get the call off. The bash, the Cataclysm isn't enough to find the kills. Anna leading forward. The Bloodthorn onto FY. Gets the kill onto FY. FY bites back straight away. Anna looking towards Somnus again. The doppelganger. Ame on top of Thompson. Thompson being saved by Jerax. Jerax with the tether. Ame turns into General. There's the call. Seb, he catches Ame. Ame dead for 2 minutes. The Hex. They've got Somnus as well. Oh, gee. Double kill for Seb. The clutch buybacks coming into play. Nobody has a buyback available right now. as OG stand with 5 alive on the map, 100 seconds without the Morphling.
This Doppel talent is just destroying LGD. They have no way to actually find Ana. Like Ben said, the Brewmaster's constantly using the Dispel, but it's so hard to find the real PL amongst all these illusions in all this chaos of the fights with tornadoes and chaos meters and everything falling all over the place.
And look at this. The tier 3 tower falling. Ana frontlining it all. What's he scared of? The Blood Bride will come out. Chalice with the Shiva's Guard trying to initiate. But Ana is poking, prodding, beating down, and on the side, Thompson jumps in. Chalice gets in with the beat, giving the call. Seb, he's got the disability. Chalice, do they have the damage? They got on top of the Chalice. He's into the snowball. FY buying time for him, but now he's vulnerable. Is there tags? He gets Bloodthorn. Chalice plays back. Straight back into the game. Ana trying to find his attention onto X-Nova. Chalice leading forward. The Tornado going to be off the market. Only catches out the Bloodseeker, but Seb, he's looking for the follow. Jumps in, gets the call. The BKB was out in time. The Bananas on top of it. Did they have the damage? Seb's got the blade on FY.
Okay.
With the snowball again. Thompson, Jarax focusing the racks. Thompson gets the Hex up onto X-Nova. Seb healed up by Jarax. Ana's still full health at the moment as the Brewlings are pushed back to the base. OG get the bottom melee racks. As still 30 seconds to play without the Morphling in the game. They move towards the mid lane. OG, can they really get it all here? The mid racks falling. They've taken a full second sets, 15 painful seconds for LGD.
They're gonna keep going. They want to claim their megas.
Another tier 3 falls. OG onto the final set of racks that LGD have left standing. Azana, he gets kicked back. He's separated from the team, but he has the double gagger. He's been ruptured. He needs help, and he needs it now. Jarek in with the tap of the hand of God. Give it that double heal. The relocate as well. Jarek gets him out. As OG will successfully disengage before that Morphling's back in, as they found both racks. Jerax will die for this one, almost certainly, as he looks to tether across, but the nullifies upon him. He has buyback though, and OG just took so much away from PSG LGD, as they only have a lone range rack standing on the top lane.
I can't believe it's coming. This is only 3 racks left in this game, and one of them is a range racks on the side of LGD. Buyback status. I saw X-Nova's buyback was only like 600 or 700, which is crazy, but Jerax also kind of in that same net worth territory, looking at a very cheap buyback, but 2 in the game left. IO and the PL. PL is almost unkillable at this point. Like, even without the Wisp, it's still really difficult. With the Wisp, just don't even try.
We'll see this again. It's a save here from Jerax.
The control is just not there, and they don't have the way to kill all these illusions constantly. And of course, look at Jerax coming in, starts that relocate channel, and is able to get it off. No one gets the control on him.
Keeping it cool at the time that it means the most, but he's still able to crack a smile here in Game 4 of the TIA Grand Finals. OG making a stand, now leading 9K advantage in net worth. LD able to join us.
I don't believe they actually have any 4 staffs inside of LG. That's generally how you deal with a Scythe of Ice. And I think they can get a Scythe of Ice on the core, get a blink call, and that hero is likely dead without buyback at this point. So OG, I would say, definitely favorite at this point of the game, especially with PL having buyback. LGD, they have a couple minutes to think about what they want to do before this next rotation.
Yeah, they can't be totally reliant on FY just getting these perfect snowball saves. Or even, like, I saw in the last fight too, when it was down bottom, he even tried like Walrus kicking the IO away from when he was tethered from somebody else. They need to find some other ways to be able to save, in particular that Brewmaster, who is just time and time again is the most important hero, it does seem, for LGD.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what they do with the BKB call. The snowball is the only thing, but they have Bloodthorns, they have Scythe of Ice for the Tusk, they have a lot of things available. Maybe Aeon Disc perhaps for Brewmaster. I'm not exactly sure what the best way for him to deal with it is. Looks like he is going for an Octarine perhaps for almost permanent.
The sentry's down though. They see Thompson, but Thompson, he's already quick with the play. The Tornado into EMP, Cold Snap as well, they've got the Hex, but there won't be any further jumping. They just poke at Arme.
They're trying to make space.
They got the Mega Creeps.
That's the distraction play right there.
Up against the Mega Creeps. PSG LGD, it's what stands between them and the championship title here in Game 4.
And they got it right before that wave, before that 59-minute mark too, so we already have the Mega Creep wave coming in, that momentum pushing onto LGD's side.
And you look at their lineup, can PSG LGD's heroes deal with the Mega Creeps? It's hard. They don't really have that sort of incredible D-push or AoE sort of hard hitters to deal with it.
That's kind of what they've been lacking in a lot of this game, right? That's what we've been talking about with the illusions with the PL. They've got ways to find them if it's, or ways to kill them if they find the exact one, but as for doing that, it's very tough when they don't have just the dispel from Chalice.
And he does too much damage to ignore at this point with the Bloodthorn. And on top of that, Roshan is going to respawn in about 1 minute's time. LGD, I think their buybacks are going to cool down around that time, but I just don't think they can withstand this onslaught. They really want to be able to defend this Roshan. It's super obvious when there's Mega Creeps. With Mega Creeps, that's the luxury that you have. You can just wait a couple of seconds. You know, the creeps will be hitting at your T4s if you wait.
As Ana commits forward. Has no boots, but a full Eye of Scotty. 3,800 health now on this PL, who hasn't been dying for a very long time. Now he's got easier ways, easier kill opportunity, and much more survivability.
Yeah, he probably has like maybe 7,000, 8,000 HP effective with the butterfly evasion and the heal, the overcharge, and the hand of God is just way too much. And the lifesteal from Shen too. Another ability.
OG clearing out the pit. Very, very soon to be spawning. Roshan and PSG LGD are well aware.
Roshan's up. It looks like only OG knows.
Oh,
Arme,
Yo, battle.
Indeed, some illusion. Actually, Arme's gonna get caught out by the tornado though. They've opened up onto him. Arme trying to get on top of Ana. The BKB pop by Chalice. He'll get the ult out. No-Tail getting got out straight away by F5 with the snowball. No-Tail's dead for 100. They'll get the Chen. Ana in the midst of it, trying to lock down onto FY. The rest of his team about to come over to get the tornado. Out onto X over Seb. Looking for the cool control onto Arme. Has he got it? Arme getting stood up by the cold snap, but he's able to wait for him up the high ground. Thompson blinks in. He gets the hex out, but FY with the snowball save. They get the bash out. Sonos will be able to find the IO, but they're fully low LGD. That's Sonos dead for 2 minutes. They get Thompson. Thompson dead for 2 minutes. Only Ana. Ana, can he do it here? Is it half out? He gets the call of his lifetime. As 3 dead now on LGD. No buyback. Seb will fall. Ana kept alive off the back of that fight. As that very much looked like PSG LGD were able to tip OG over the edge, but that plus 100 Berserker score, you could see Seb as well being very careful with how he used it, keeping it to that opportune moment after any potential sort of Manta dodges have been done by Thomas Arme, and he gets the call.
9 doppelgangers used just in that area around the Ancients from the PL. Just the constant barrage of illusions giving that distraction to allow Seb to get that call off.
And that's another Roshan for OG.
These fights have to be so hectic for the players. There's like 30 PLs.
There's just both sides. I mean, even the Enchantress is like taking a PL, and then the Morphling turns into PL.
I'm just impressed we haven't had any frame drops. You know?
That's true.
Azana. Down the middle lane.
Just walking down with a DD.
The tier 4s. Ana says he's done with this. He wants to end this game. The buyback will come out from FY. Ana. It's going to be snowballed. Ana. He's in. He's not got any backup on the way. FY will be able to get out with the invis, but this doppelganger just over and over again, meaning that Ana could just stand in. Now he's got the backup of Jerax. He gets Hex. Oh, he didn't expect it. He didn't expect the Hex, but he's still fine. Jerax had the Odis, but X-Nova into the snowball. They'll turn towards Jerax. The Hanagon coming out. Jerax has been nullified. They hit doppelganger once again. X-Nova. He will survive for now. But buybacks were forced out by that aggressive play from Ana. At the same time, Seb did buy back himself on the axe. But LGD are back up as a full 5-man.
Jesus, this is insane.
I mean, I don't know what's super safe there. I'm not exactly sure why Seb bought back, but I mean, he has heart, he has Wiz behind him, he has Aegis, he has everything. His buyback.
And as you can see there, that is the big difference. There are 4 buybacks available on OG. Only 1 available for LGD. Oh.
All this momentum pushing in. And an arcane rune up top. If they give that to Ana, oh my god. Even more illusions, even more doppels.
Oh,
Let's go.
that is
2.1 second cooldown.
2.1 second cooldown.
Oh, man.
Okay. Azana,
This is it.
he's ready to put it to use. Straight into the base he goes, doubling forward, he gets the jump onto X-Nova, the ghost set to keep an X-Nova fine for now. Anna looking to turn his commitment towards Arme, Thompson comes in with a deafening blast from the side, the EMP finishes X-Nova off, he's dead for 110, Seb, pots the BKB, looks for the cool control onto FY, but FY does get the snowball off in time. Arme looking on top of Jarrus, but Thompson turns, they get the Hex out onto him, he'll get himself back into the ball, the BKB's out in time as Arme cuts down Rojo with a waveform, finds the kill. Anna looking to get on top of Arme, the BKB's about to wear off, the Mega Creep speeding down upon the edge of the OG. Seb in again. The call on top of Arme. Arme dead for 2 minutes. Chalice, BKB pop. He's trying to commit, trying to deal with Anna being silenced by the blood right. But the ancient is falling. The Hex is out. They're going to be able to find themselves. Chalice 3 dead on LGD. OG hitting the ancient. Hitting the ancient. Weird guy. Weird. And John, FY, he's found himself no tail out on his own.
He's trapped him.
There's no tail. Is he going to get any sort of backup? No, he's not. There's 3 still dead on OG. It'll be a slow and painful death here if no tail as Arme comes in for the kill secure.
And I love the way that Chalice popped his BKB super early in that fight. He just knows, I just need to get my ulti off, and he cast it at a very safe range. He didn't wait for the last second of his BKB. He's not very greedy. I think that's a lot of the reason why they've been winning these team fights. Seb has been struggling, still about 1,000 gold away from his BKB.
I mean, yeah, this Brewmaster is a display of perfection, really. It's the highest level in the game with his Bloodseekers.
And doing a ton of damage in the fight. One of the most damage in the game as an offlaner.
Now has full Shiva, so even more ways. He's pretty much itemized entirely just to be like, Ana, I'm ruining your game. I've got Radiance, I've got Shivas. You're going to struggle so much in these fights as Phantom Lancer.
Eric's did his best to keep Ana alive, and but Ana wasn't able to do damage because he was ruptured. He wasn't that low on HP, but still can't run around.
Seb.
Oh, I'm just going to this here.
Got to be careful who shows up top. Indeed, Jerax is going out on his own. He doesn't expect Arme to have this invis route. As Arme will show himself, Jerax goes across, but Somnus is there.
Somnus is not messing around rupturing.
No mercy. They're feeling very confident now at this point, getting these very advantageous team fights as well as getting kills on the split push too. Thompson though, we'll find X-Nova.
Seb, and as well, between the two of them, they'll take down the support edge. FY's going to come in though. He hasn't got anyone else with him at the moment. It is just FY, so just playing around with Seb.
He has no help around at all, and he's still just making Seb's life miserable.
He's toying with him. He's just making him not be able to come back. Look, they're already starting to rotate this Brewmaster and Bloodseeker too, and FY, he's ready to look for Seb.
Seb's got to get out.
Oh, Seb.
As indeed, FY, the patience keeping that control on Seb, buying time for Chalice to come in. Anna is going to look towards the Tusk. Chalice is now there, does have Primal Split available if he wants to look to take this fight. Somnus coming in as well. As Anna, Seb look to hide in the trees. Can they get out of it? Anna's got a TP available. He's into the trees, he's going to show himself in the lane though. They're going to continue to head over. They are going to see Seb make it out in time. They don't have a stun. Anna, can he get out as well? He can. OG will avoid that rotation from PSG LGD.
FY is just so obnoxious there, following Seb for over a minute, just stalking him, trying to have his team come over.
So that's about, a minute without Aegis being used for LGD. They have 2 minutes left, I would say, to capitalize on this Aegis. Oh man, looks like he is level up the
Pretty much back to a 50-50. PSG LGD 2-1 up at the moment in this best of 5 grand finals. 1 game needed to secure the championship title. And at this point, they are ahead here in game 4.
No-Tail hasn't had time to gather a full army of Ancient Creeps. Right now, he just has the Ancient Black Dragon. You really want those other auras when you're at a big disadvantage in these team fights already.
Yeah, it's tough though, because Jerax doesn't want to be following around his Chen, giving him the Aghanim. So. As Thompson, see, he does have a Lincoln Sphere picked up, and they should have the BKB finished on Seb too. So that'll give him a little bit easier time to get those Blink calls as he's been suffering to do so in the last few fights. And Somnus, I have Scotty picked up, about to be level 25 as well.
Yeah, they just need a couple more minutes on the side of OG before they're ready to fight. Wait for the Aegis to expire.
Seb, he's in, gets the call, the characters, but again FY, there with the snowball save. He's going to be fine, and now they turn to look towards the axe. The The taunt's going to be out. Seb goes for the TP. They've got the stun to cancel them. Seb held back for now. Thompson trying to offer his best from the side to provide some sort of safety, as he will get Seb back. They're able to get Seb back to safety, and Thompson is running away. Xnova's there with the wraparound, gets the slow off, gives the vision for the snowball. TP from No-Tails coming in towards the stride, but Thompson, he's trapped.
That's twice in the series that Xnova just comes out of nowhere. Like, he's just on a warding expedition, then he just ends up wrapping behind these people constantly.
Perfect time.
Perfect timing, and has the senton creep to boot. And look at these deep wards that he's placed during that time that he was running around doing so. He now has full vision of OG. Yeah, he sees Ana farming these Ancients right now.
Oh, Ana. FY just giving so much information for the team. He's got eyes on him. Get the punch on the wrong target, but the snowball pass will catch Ana. Ana, he's in trouble. The blood bright silence connects. He's got the Manta back up in a second, but can he really play his way out of this one? He cannot. Ana down for a minute and a half.
Just having all this vision. And Xnova throughout this whole tournament has had the best vision in every situation, even when you wouldn't expect it. They're just like, oh, they're fighting on the left side. They're not gonna have vision over here. But no, Xnova always seems to have those prepared in every situation.
And he has some incredible foresight to be able to have these wars that just lead to really clutch pickoffs. And Axe has not spent his money on BKB. He has the money, but he might be looking to save for buyback.
We'll see if any of the buybacks do get forced out. Thompson's still dead for 15. Ideally, he doesn't buy back it. They may have to buy back on Ana. He's gone for 50 seconds. The split coming out from Chalice. He's ready to push in, look for the stun on No-Tail to hold back the Chen as the mid-racks are exposed. PSG LGD, 40 minutes in, able to open into the base and clean out this mid lane of Rack. Still Ana holding on to that buyback.
And they're gonna keep going here. They really want to force this PL to come back here.
Stun onto Thompson. He will blink dodge it. But another tier 3 tower falling incredibly fast. They really don't want to use it. Seb jumps in, gets the call onto FY. There's the buyback. The Cataclysm isn't enough to do anything. It isn't. PSG LGD still fighting strong. Thompson getting focused by Somnus. Seb taken down by Arme. The triple buybacks now out as Ana in trouble. He's pulled back for this one. The deafening blast onto the three of them. Knocks them back, but Ana gets focused. Seb! He's in with the call. He has the control onto the morphing Somnus. Now being chased by Thompson. Blinks in with the cold snap. The PLR is on top of it. They get Somnus too. As OG, they have to expend 3 buybacks, but they hold on to the top rack. Somnus now down for 2 minutes. No buyback available on this Bloodseeker.
Yeah, he's 400 gold short of it. It's up in about 8 seconds. OG, they have to make so much happen here. They have to push out all their lanes. 2 of the side lanes are already gone, but I think trying to get some kills here, like on FY here, would be very ideal.
I mean, look up close to Brew as a 25.
So close.
With that final split cooldown.
Oh, Thompson, he sees it FY. He's used the snowball, he turns with the combo FY with the self-fuels, but OG, they've surrounded him. Seb jumps in with the call, the blade mail, FY's gone.
Instant buyback from FY.
Still that scary, scary time for LGD. 75 seconds without Somnus. OG have the full 5-man pushing in all 3 lanes at the same time as they approach LGD's base.
I don't even know if I get the head for this team fight. The LGD are involved, but no blood take up to 60 seconds. This could be disastrous.
He's got a full BKB on Seb as well.
Chalice really wants to hit level 25 before he pops that primal split. So close.
Just got to be careful, Seb. Looking for that blink initiation.
Chalice is stepping back. Grabs, they give him the tome. He needed like 5 experience and they gave him the tome just to make sure that he gets it anyway. Just playing as safe as possible here.
Looks like OG don't feel that the window is big enough for them to push in whilst this Bloodseeker's still dead. They'll back away.
They can't count. They bought back 3 heroes. They weren't able to get any T3s, and there's no Roshan up yet. Big Daddy No-Tail's praying for a Roche right now so they can get that refresher, but it's not going to be up. And maybe we'll dodge a bullet.
At least they got a good amount of economy off that, right?
Yep.
It was up to a 15k gold advantage, and they chunked it down to 7. Same thing with experience. So they did get quite a lot out of that one, but they ideally wanted to get at least one of those sets of racks to get some momentum pushing in with those 3 buybacks used.
Absolutely, it is this really scary moment of the game now for OG. We're about 5-6 minutes still without those buybacks available. If PSG LGD can find that one team fight, it could be the team fight to win TI in this window of time that they now have presented to themselves.
Ana's gone full in for that butterfly too. As they pick up also an Aeon discount Jeremy, so protected in O. DD did spawn, however, was killed.
It's also pretty scary for Maybe right now. He only has a 5-second BKB, and he does a lot of damage and will get wrecked by the X-Blade Mail Call if he finds it, especially with his BKB now. There's not that many ways to stop him.
It's just all about FY and Chalice, right? Just either saving or just getting into the midst of the fights and not allowing OG to get the picks.
And the spike. It's going to be dispelled.
Let's get dispelled. But
He's in the trees. They're on the high ground. They've got the vision with the Shiva's covered. Anna's on his way over. They've got the snowball down. There's the counterblade. Seb jumps in. He's able to fight the call onto Chalice, but Chalice already got the BKB out. The Sunstride's going to be down onto FY, but FY will survive. Seb posts the BKB. He'll try and stand his ground, but Seb, he's going to go down. No buyback on the axe. As Jerax as well, surrounded by PSG LGD. The Eon disc will proc, but they'll fight through it.
He has to buy back immediately.
Look at these creep track by these Force Spirits. On the bottom rune, they have no creeps in the mid lane.
Sienna still holding on to that buyback on Jerax. But as Ben said, the creeps aren't here.
It's backdoor. Can they breach through it? It's not looking like it right now. Maybe everyone hitting the same one.
That creep cutting isn't enough to hold OG in the game.
You see No-Tail's already running to just, he doesn't care. He's going to throw his life for this. He needs to just keep these creeps out of the base to keep that back door up. He doesn't care if he dies.
Which he certainly will as they get upon him. They find his life. 1 minute now without No-Tail and without Seb. Thompson, Anna, and Jerax. The only 3 heroes that can offer their defense during this final minute, this final stand.
Jerax is really trying to hold on to his buyback.
As Chalice split of course up once again. They're finishing off this second set of racks. He's got the Cyclone holding Anna up in the skies. As this rack's on the top lane will fall, the melee rack's gone. PSG LGD playing this carefully. As they'll go down towards the bottom as well. Arme, doppelgangers, he's losing a fair bit of mana into the PL. Still able to shift back into that Morphling if needs be. As OG, they will lose that top racks, but they won't lose the game. PSG LGD are playing it safe. They know how close they are to victory, and they will not throw it away.
And they know that the Roche is probably respawning pretty soon, and it actually is up, so that is that refresher shard. They already have pretty much infinite primal splits up anyway, but they feel very confident here.
They weren't able to de-ward that ward in the mid lane, so it looks like they are going for a Roche fake out.
Check Anna is on top of X-Nova. The Ghost Step's going to get the set. He's in. The call, the MP, the cannon, but FY's in. He's able to get the save off in time to keep this man alive. Chalice is down. Buyback from X-Nova and Chalice. FY with the Invis. Somnus looking to get involved. Post the BKB to get over the ice roll. They get on top of Seb. Seb's in trouble. Seb's gone. The axe down once again for 90 seconds. As now FY giving them the vision, but they see him. Got the doppelganger to jump away from the snowball. The snowball over to Thompson. The self-fuels. FY trying to buy time for the rest of LGD to come in. Again, up into the air. Arme straight on top of No-Tail. FY will fall. Arme looking towards No-Tail. No-Tail posts the hand of God, but No-Tail beat it down by Arme and Somnus. Chalice gets the primal split off as Anna. He's been left behind in Thompson. He's got to do something incredible in terms of the combo. Can he find the angle? Jerax coming in, keeping Anna alive. Anna with the doppelganger. The deafening blast comes out onto the 2 of them. Anna trying to go in, looking for the kill. Can he find it in time onto X-Nova? He's on top of him, trying to beat him down. Anna again with the doppelganger, now retreating back towards the base. As X-Nova will survive. Jerax back in, the combo. Meatball down onto Chalice, but Chalice is so tanky. Pops the Shiva's gone. He's on top of Jerax. Jerax is gone. Anna as well. Can he really fight back against the Somnus, and X-Nova are so low? As the buyback for Jerax comes in, he's healing Anna back up. That buyback could set them up for the kill on X-Nova. The cold snap down onto the charge, and they find him. Arme, he's out of mana. He's starting to shift into the strength, but he's surrounded. OG, can they find the ball? They can! OG are still in the game. Arme buys back immediately. But now it's PSG LGD's turn to be without 2 of their supports. Seb's going to be back up in 8 seconds.
Oh my god, that buyback from Jerax onto that shrine, being able to save Anna, but Anna also toying with them with that doppel. He sent the illusion. They thought that was the real one. They actually couldn't finish him off, even though they got the thirst vision of him for a second.
With the level 25 talent on the doppelganger, it's really hard to kill him.
Seb, he's looking straight for the play. Can he find Somnus? He's hunting. Somnus, he's there, Seb. He'll see him. Oh! Doesn't get the call though, and now Seb It'll be ruptured. They're looking at him, but Anna, he's straight in on top of Somnus. Somnus puts the BKB. Anna get with the double gang. There's a Cataclysm coming out. And Somnus still alive. Anna will be able to force him away. They've got the hex. They've got the control. They're on top of him. Can they kill him in time? They can. Chalice gone for 2 minutes. And Seb, he's finding, looking for Arme. Big Daddy No-Tail gets the penitence out. Only onto the illusion though. Arme able to waveform up to the high ground. As Arme should be fine here.
Thompson's got the ghost, so he's got Hex
maybe
up soon too.
Oh, the doppelganger Arme's over the trees. Can he hide his way out of this?
He's back. Real one.
Goes for the waveform. Seb tries for the call, but he's already out of there. Nice play from Arme.
And he buys so much time too for his team there. The Brewmaster was dead for 120 seconds, now only 90.
Still a big window for OG. They're only without Jerax for the same amount of time. And that lead that PSG LGD had, it is going down a little bit. Only 4K, 5K at the moment with these last few fights. Obviously the 25s now coming out on OG. Thompson's into the pit.
What a timely DD coming out for him too. I don't think they expected to be.
Alliances turn to ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pros turn to ban. Alliances turn to ban.
Alright, you ready?
10 seconds remaining.
Alright, let's go live in 5, 4.
5 seconds remaining.
Hello. Welcome back.
Virtus
We
Pros
have returned
turn
for
to
another
ban.
day of Beyond Epic
Alliances
League.
turn
We
to ban.
have already got into the draft. We'll get to there in a second. I'm Killer Pigeon. Liz, making me look bad on camera as always. Just look at he just wears a simple white shirt. You're right, I make myself look bad. And hey, it's not easy to keep up this sort of scruffiness, alright? You have to avoid haircuts, proper shaves, you have to eat a lot. Like Liz, you know, it's a full-time job, right? Speaking of full-time jobs, we got some full-time Dota players ready to get underway. We've got Alliance versus Virtus Pro to open up the day.
Yeah, that's... Oh, God.
Okay, you heard, we heard that noise. Everyone heard that noise. Like, screw this. We're done with us on camera. Let's open up the draft. They want to see that. They want confirmation. Because you know how it is, Liz, right? When you hear that explosion, you look into the game to double check you didn't miss it, right? You're like, yep, I've got a tacky special.
What I double click is the X on top right. That's what I double click.
You want to look?
Techies. The last game I had Techies in my game, he was mid and we won. Like he was on my team and he was playing
I thought you said you were the techies.
I wasn't. No, he was.
Oh, okay. I feel lied to because I was impressed. I was like, wow, Liz plays techies mid and wins. Now
I do, but not as gracious as that guy did.
10 seconds.
He was really owning. He was really owning. It was cool to watch. Now CIS is obviously one of those duos that you really need to study when it comes to playing techies. This guy just... I would argue that it's not only about him, but about his teammates and the way Virtus Pro learned how to play around techies. They're pretty much the only team that's picking it right now.
Well, I'd say that they're not the... Like, if there was an opponent that is maybe detrimental to pull it out against because they have a seasoned techies player that likes to play it still, it's probably Alliance right now because FNG was getting infamous for a while for playing it as well. Right? So like, just a few months ago, I think he went out with Gambit roster.
I think you're lying, sir.
I'm lying.
I think you're making stuff up. FNG techies? What? I mean, okay, it's possible. I'm not sure. It's possible. And if he does play techies, then he might know how to deal with it. He whips out his Chen, sending those pesky, you know, units as sacrificial mine testers is always nice. So that's cool. they also have a pretty decent draft so far on Alliance. You have the Axe Phoenix combo. It's actually pretty decent. Actually, Axe versus Spectre, that's pretty bad. Yeah, you really don't want to play Axe into Spectre.
No, because you're a counter initiator, right? And the problem is, halfway through a fight, a Horn has already gone off, and it's the same as a Shaker. You have no way of then initiating.
It's the dispersion, then the Horn that stops you from initiating. Yeah, it's gonna be a hard Axe game unless S4, which I suppose, who I suppose will be playing the Axe, does something incredible, but it will be hard. By the way, do you see this circle below Chen?
Yeah,
the black circle?
because it's all about Chen.
Ray?
Yeah.
What's this about? I didn't know this before.
Is it from the Radiant base? I think it's got to be something from the Radiant base. I think you're right. It hasn't been there before. I mean, Warlock just got picked and it hasn't shifted to him, so it's not like a just in case you weren't aware, this is the latest hero type thing. It's just there.
Looks like a, you know, like a figurine, like a piece that's his standard model.
10
And
seconds
for
remaining.
some reason it went through into the game. It's like,
Virtus
you know,
Pros
it didn't get
turn to
deleted.
pick.
But in any case, we'll talk about that later. Alliance, they go with a Lifestealer. Now this could be a decent Lifestealer game. We have actually seen this matchup a few days ago, right? Lifestealer versus Spectre. That matchup in which Lifestealer actually got the Radiance much faster and they won it. Spectre was kind of always waiting. I think it was fake
That's fake.
Spectre.
Yeah,
right?
they had Crystals on the Spectre, but the map was closed way too quick in that
5
game. Whereas,
seconds
you know, in this game, Techies it could slow down Alliance's approach. I mean, Lifestealer is the only hero who feels confident against the Techies. Chen, yeah, you mentioned, you know, you can throw in your creeps, but it feels bad to do, right? Because then you have to go find new children to sacrifice to explosions.
Yeah, that's true. But it's still better to sacrifice your neutrals than to sacrifice your heroes, right? So Chen versus Techies is pretty good for Chen, I would say. Overall, they are lacking their limp hero. DK has been banned out. OD is still in the pool. Sorry, not OD. DP is still in the pool. So something like that, I would love to see on limp. Some pace controlling type of a hero. They don't have a lot of control as well. You have Axe, but that's it. You're very limited on stuns. Of course, Chen can have a couple of Centaur Stompers, or you can have a couple of Trolls to ensnare with, but that's not really that great. You need more.
Alliances
I mean, like,
turn to battle.
Right now, okay, I was gonna highlight that they maybe didn't have much lockdown. I wasn't thinking necessarily Storm Spirit, but Alliance, this is a good Storm game, right? Because we already mentioned the Axe can't initiate. Maybe the Chen army finds him, but all those stuns are predictable and kind of projected.
Yeah, they don't really have enough
Virtus
catch for the
Pros
store.
turn to
That's
battle.
obvious. That's why it's picked. It's very easy to get on top of the Phoenix as well. It's very easy to kite the Lifestealer too. And if this game goes long enough, at least at the moment, it looks like a literally free Lifestealer game. Let's look. Alliance, what could they
10
go for
seconds
here as
remaining.
their last pick? I mean, of course, they're gonna wait for Virtus Pro
5
as well.
seconds
Virtus Pro,
remaining.
they need an offlane in their final pick. By the way, have you watched a lot of VP recently? Have they been playing even? Like for the last
They
few
haven't
weeks?
played
Virtus
as many
Pros
tournaments
turn
as they maybe would have
alliances
because of the
turn
new
to pick.
rules that are coming in around with the secondary rosters, right? So like there was this interchanging where Prodigy would be playing instead, and then you know
They go
VP
with
would have
the-
some of the
Yeah.
tournaments.
They go with the most common pick for them. It was one of the heroes that I was thinking, but yeah, I should have said something. Doesn't count now. Centaur
10
is pretty
seconds
much there
remaining.
to go offlane because Rezo, he does well on
5
everything, but he
seconds
excels
remaining.
on Centaur. He really excels on Centaur. He plays this hero to the fullest, and they've had a lot of success with it. The only thing is, you are picking it into a Lifestealer, and that can be a little bit problematic because historically, Nyx wins that lane. It has been changed a little bit. Lifestealer's Feast is different, and obviously you have Retaliate to work with right now. But still, I think it's a good lane for Nico Baby.
He has to be careful though, because I mean it's a techies plus centaur, right? So if you find yourself raging to dodge out the stun, they can still follow up. But at the same time, you need to rage for stun because that's enough time to throw out the silence from techies. So it can, like, there could be some spice about this. I mean, anytime you see techies, it completely changes how you think of laning matchups and the game in general, right? Like, it is one of those heroes that changes the way Dota functions.
I just want Alliance to pick something very greedy here as their last pick. They could use some catch, like Virtus.pro banning out that puck was really good because it's a very strong hero versus Storm on the mid lane, and then later on as well, it's good. Is Ember banned? Viper, okay. Yeah.
Viper game.
This is so good. This is very good. So strong versus the Centaur, but most importantly versus the Spectre. Now you have a hero that deletes Spectre's haunt, right? You use that haunt, she goes in, suddenly she has none of her passives because of the Nether Toxin. That's pretty cool. Man, I love these sets. All of them.
What's that Viper? What?
Okay, Viper looks like something out of WoW that you go to farm around level 46, like Strangletorn Whale or something.
I mean, it looks like Viper and Veno had the DNA mixed with the Year Beast to me.
Look at the chat, man. You can't even see it because this
That is Chen now.
beast. Yeah, this beast is too big.
This is the gorilla now with Winston.
Also the hat on Warlock. Look at that.
God, yeah, that hat. That hat made me chuckle the moment I saw it in the set. Damn,
it's
look
pretty cool.
at Centaur's hat as well. Like, but he keeps no clipping with his beard for it. But other than that, you know, you got some sort of weird Warframe look going on there.
Yeah, who cares about Centaur really?
I mean, Prezzo does.
He's already beefy, bulky, and whatnot. Look at the Axis hat, however. It's golden, it's burning, it's mean. That's what it's all about.
Wow, these are going to be our drafts. I think hat game just has to be won by Virtus.pro to begin with, because and also Rezzo just accepting his role in this team. Have you had a game yet where everyone on your team correctly uses the die emote? Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Me neither. I'm bummed out by it.
Prepare for battle.
Yeah, because you have like two players that want to flail, two players that want to put out that they're gonna win, you know, and then you have that one dude that's 100% off to smoke a cigar because the game isn't loaded, and then he's gonna DC when the game loads and be AFK for your first 5 minutes, and you're gonna just sit there, you know, waiting for him to chill out on his balcony, come back to play.
You know,
Because his grandma doesn't allow him to smoke in the apartment, you know.
I ain't got that issue, all right. You know, I know smoking's still a big thing. Actually, when I was in Kiev, loads of people on the smoking break still.
In CIS, there's people constantly on smoking breaks. Yeah, it's still a big thing here. The West kind of moved away from it, but the East didn't.
Yeah, a lot of our people embraced vaping.
I mean, the people vape here as well. Dude, I hate that smell so much, by the way. I can stand
Which one?
cigars.
There's loads of different smells.
Every. Like, I can stand cigars, no problem. I grew up in Bosnia, dude. Like, you can smoke around babies in Bosnia. You smoke in restaurants. Like, it literally, like, every restaurant can be smoked in. You know, there are no.
How does that work, Ahmed? They just go puff and it's like, what are you doing with that baby? Don't matter. Gonna make the lungs strong.
Yeah, in any case, I've lived. Oh, techies.
Just techies things. I mean,
Suicide.
the thing is, you know, for a lot of gamers, we don't care about the smoke, and we're more focused on something else to kind of relax us, to give us our energy as well, which is usually.
Is it maybe Monster Energy?
It does keep us energized. The teams here even has an official sponsor, of course. This is where we're going to see if Alliance, you know, maybe that gives them the extra boost they need, because they have been losing quite a lot recently.
Yeah, they won only the only last series they won were versus NIP, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, and they don't have a monster sponsor as far as I'm aware, so clearly the difference was there.
And the one we casted was versus FTM, and they lost that one. That's the CIS stack that's usually considered inferior to Virtus.pro, so
Yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, they aren't officially sponsored by Monster, but I imagine they probably had like double the amount of Monster Alliance did. Put my head.
You're really, really doing this.
I don't know what you thought. Look, Liz, I will have
Okay,
to
as
know
for
I'm a completely impartial, honest caster. I have no attachments to any brand.
top lane Hanskin, he's really low here, but I mean, he just wanted to mess with that first wave so that Axe can go on creep skip, which Axe is doing. As for his happy little camper getting his level 2 here.
And meanwhile, on the bot lane, we just keep CIS going with the blast off. It's like, okay, I'm gonna annoy Nico Baby a little bit, but he's very quickly realizing it's very underwhelming against a Chen lifestealer combo to try and win an attrition war.
Yeah, they just heal so much. Chen gives not right now, but with headdress that's there and with the next level of divine favor, lifestealer is gonna heal so much that I don't think they'll be able to pressure that hard. But oh, there we go, another fast off. So basically, how
it's
you
doing
start with
nothing, really.
yeah, it's this lane is
Well, it's
difficult.
stopping them from getting aggressive though, right? I think that's the one thing Rezo likes about this is that Nico Baby doesn't want to come forward and attack center, which you're already
He's still level 1. He's still level 1, right? So he cannot at the moment, but later on I wouldn't be surprised. The thing is, when you're playing techies, all he's doing right now is blocking the small camp so that Shen cannot have a decent creep, you know? And he's suiciding in because he has 2 Fairy Fires, Ring of Region, and a lot of tangos he brought to the lane. So you can't really trade hits, but you can just blast off in and out. That's the game plan here.
Yeah, and then you reach this point where maybe you can actually start to hit hard enough for a kill. Of course, you need to be in sync there so that you stomp into the blast off, and then maybe you can kill Lifestealer, but it's such a hard kill.
Top lane Warlock was forced out. He should be fine. Actually went off.
It looks like they're actually just going to try and pile on the pressure here, because you know the Spectre's just being left alone. However, you can already see S4 moving across. If they notice this, they might just go and potentially lane against it.
I mean,
Radiant's courier
do you see
has
the
been
sentry on top right there? It's blocking the hard camp. So Axe is pretty much creep skipping, and what you want to do as a Spectre when this is happening, you want to take the creeps and pull them to the hard camp so that you kind of equalize the amount of farm that he's getting and that you're getting. But because of this good sentry ward placement, he's unable to do so. Because of that, Warlock is forced to rotate bottom as well.
Yeah. I think the bigger concern for VP is in the mid lane right now. Storm, yeah, he's keeping up on CS, but the regen difference will start to be felt if he tries to attend to this lane anymore. Like level 4 is that point, right, where Viper becomes kind of impossible to lane against.
Level 1 is that point for me, man. I see that green thing and I run. I just don't want to lane against
You're a level
Viper.
1 Meepo jungler now, are you?
Why not? If I play Meepo versus him, sure. He's not that hard to deal with, as you said before. Level 3 at least, you can mess with the Viper. You can even out trade him if you're playing around the creeps well enough.
Yeah, it's still tough because of course he can AWP walk with the poison attack.
Of course.
But it looks like they actually done a good job of making stacks. Like Storm made some stuff, and then the supports. I think that was another reason the Warlock came down around this area. Is if you stack top, Axe is just going to take those stacks away. But if you stack the bottom area, no one can use that to catch up.
I don't really think he's about to stack a lot as this Warlock. Not right now, at least. His job is to just keep them healthy and nutritious on the bottom lane. Heal Rezo and use Fatal Bonds that are actually level 2 to pressure Nico Baby as much as possible. And so far they're doing a decent job because Rezo actually has more net worth than Nico by 300, 400 even.
Yeah, and look, the denies as well. 11 on the center, only 3 on the lifestealer, so he's not having an easy time at this. What size shenanigans did?
Yeah, he's being pinged out. I think he's going to pull the next wave into the mines and he's going to farm it. This is very important because this wave is with a catapult. So what he does with this is he prevents a limp from pushing in the tier 1. However, he might die for
He
it.
can blast off. I mean, you're always gonna die when you're a techie. It's just he takes his own way out.
This is really good. This is really, really good. Now, the only question is, how will Limp deal with it? Because he can also save the Carti. You see, he's going to tank the creep wave. The Carti will survive, and then he will push with the next wave probably into it.
And that's crucial for a hero like this, right? Like, a Viper is really renowned for hitting towers. Now you already see he's blocking the catapult to make sure it does make it there in one piece. Handskin. Well, that's a stationary core, and that's going to boost for the Storm, and now Storm going to boost up. He's got reinforcements for here, attacking Viper going down. They bring in hell of a lot of heroes. The Spectre wants in. He does see the Phoenix as well. Looks like Handskin should be able to get away, but barely. That was our first blood.
He has no boots.
Oh,
He might actually
okay, he's gone. He's definitely gone.
Dire structures are
That's
fortified.
a great rotation from everyone on the side of Virtus Pro. Everyone besides the Scent, they managed to get S4 top. He's in trouble.
He was pressuring the tower, and now he's going to be the one getting pressured here. Zias has the blast off. He wants to still kill. Instead, he'll let no one happen. And while that happens,
Bottom lane.
both off lanes going down, but one a lot more valuable than the other. As you know, S4, he was sitting top of the net worth chart at this point.
Good movements, really good movements. It's so interesting to see how every single second matters. That pull on the creep wave around the tier 2 prevents Viper to pressuring the tier 1, which allows Storm to get his level 6 on time. And because of that, they can turn the kill onto the Viper, take him down and turn it together with that haunt. It's all these small little moves, they're so valuable for Virtus Pro.
And in that regard, also the Viper's move is going to be predictable, right? He protects the catapult, but you know at the 5-minute mark, he's going to want to get pressure onto that tier 1 tower, because that's what Viper's all about. Bully the lane, take the tower early, force
Dire's
rotations.
middle tower
He's
is
going
under
for a really
attack.
good build as well. Limp is going for Atos. Not a lot of utility for his team in a way of auras or mechanism or anything like that, like some pipe. But this Atos will help them in the cash department, so they'll have something else for the techies, but most importantly, Storm and Spectre.
I mean, you have other heroes that provide that kind of utility, right? Like the Phoenix can heal up your team, the Chen can heal up your team, Axe could build into something like a pipe if you need it that badly. Just identifying what we kind of hit on the draft, right? Where we said they don't have much lockdown. They don't really have anything for the Storm Spirit.
They don't in the bottom lane. Rezo, do they have something for him?
Well, they gave him the easy clap from the Hellbat, slow him down a bit, but he's way too tanky. I mean, look at this. Chainmail, ring of protection, ring of health. It's all about a please don't kill me type build right now.
Yeah, it's funny how this lane has changed. This used to be heavily favored for Lifestealer, but Rezo is doing really, really well on the Scent.
I mean, it was against any strength hero, right? But now these strength heroes, they're like, okay, once you get me down to half HP, this is no longer a favorable trade for the Lifestealer, unless he's like, you know, phase boots when I still only have naked boots.
What's Zad's doing? Is he just stacking? Yep.
He, probably for himself, considering the amount of mines he's been spending in those camps, it wouldn't surprise me. It's been pretty
He didn't really get a good camp because the mines are magical. He got the Centaur and the Mud Golem, and you don't want to go for that. They might go for Limp instead, though.
Yeah, they're trying to poke around the
About to
back.
show. S4 is close, however,
And he has
as well.
phase boots, yeah. S4 almost has blink, so this would be the perfect time to do it when he can't just jump you and punish you instantly. Where's the body? But this time it might backfire a little. S4 stays on top of the assist, gets rid of the mine. And look at that! Straight away, Nico Baby's like, bro, don't worry, I got you. They're gonna climb inside, they're not gonna hurt you anymore.
Tower is under attack.
How does that actually work? He climbs inside of a target and he gives it what? The region, HP? It gives
Well,
them
it's
God mode?
Dire's
I
middle
think it's like, you know,
tower
the
is
whole
under attack.
idea of, have you ever seen the Highlander? There can be only one. Every time they kill one of the other people, they get stronger, right? It's one of those kind of things. Because you don't kill them, instead you're absorbing their being into your being, which means you've got more soul power.
But that's literally what Dota is, and that's a bad comparison because when you kill a hero, you get experience, and that's it. That's what.
Yeah, but you've got two powers in one.
All right, I'm done with you, Killer Pigeon.
Look, I didn't want to use the A word, but if you watch some of those, it makes a lot of
Mid lane?
sense. Holding it. Dumpster has to move away. The foul attack's going to come out, but it will be a miss. It wouldn't have been enough to kill him, however.
He has DD. He has DD. They have Fatal Bonds. They have Warlock Golem. They could actually fight here on both sides.
Yeah, these Fatal Bonds, they hurt. They're level 3 as well. Like, this new Warlock build is so much more friendly. TP's coming in. Centaur does not have Stampede though, so you're gonna need no one to do the heavy lifting.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Very interesting though to go for Fatal Bonds instead of upheaval.
Yeah, I think usually like 1 point is value at least in upheaval, right?
Yep.
Because otherwise, what are you doing in the fight? You fail bonds, you maybe Shadow Word target, and then you use your offering. So after that, I don't really think 72 attack damage is contributing more than slowing everyone in the area.
I was just messing with you, man. Of course you go for Fatal Bonds.
I mean, no, you can get value point upheaval though, right? Like I've seen some builds where you get 1 point.
It's like 2 levels of Shadow Word always, and then you can get 1 point in upheaval, but you have to max out Fatal Bonds. Yeah, that's the way to go.
I think
the
a lot
whole
of
team benefits from it.
I was gonna say a lot of supports also max out the upheaval before going back for Shadow Word as well now, right? Like 2 points is usually
Yeah. Shadow Word 2 points and that's it. You're not maxing anymore. There was a time in which Warlock was played mid for a short time, if you remember, like a month or two. Like Facebook, Sakula, mid lane Warlock into Aghanim's Refresher. And back then you could go for maxed out Shadow Word, but never again, I think. Like, that's it.
Those are the days when anything which could build Ag's Refresher thumbs up at the mid. Like remember the Shadow Shamans in the mid? Like my life.
Top lane S4, he might go for this Warlock.
He's tempted. He needs to pre-move him. The call will come out. He needs some spins. This is not some good RNG festival, so he'll just back away. By the way, his farm is pretty impressive. I mean, he hit the 100 CS mark before the 10-minute mark.
But he was literally 1v1, right? Spectre he wasn't even 1v1. He was playing PoE. He was playing against the environment.
Hey, half Exiles as PvP is just terrible. No one plays it. That was Centaur. Okay, I mean he has got the Who Finds, but he's trying his luck a little.
What about Zayas? Is he about to fall?
Yep. He scoring goes and then he dies as well. It's like a really depressing ending to the John Wick movie where both the owner and the pet die.
Right. He did some work. He planted some mines very deep. You can see the mines where Phoenix is going, but he's gonna scout them. Yeah, this is the worst thing, you know. They're gonna find not only the mines but the Void as well, and they killed him and his courier. Now he just detonates them. Yeah, that was so sad. And all of this happened because they caught him retreating, right? So when you see him retreating, you know exactly, well, not exactly, but you can have a good guess where he mined.
Yeah, it's the same when you see a boss fight running away from an area, right? Like, I have a pretty good idea of where you just put a ward down. I'll just go get rid of that right now. Thank you.
Exactly, that's why looking at the mini-maps all the time is so important. It gives you so much info. Just seeing movements from players, just seeing those arrows, you know, shifts over the bottom lane.
Go in, balance is there, life still controlled off, and he is gone. That is a nice move coming out from the side of Virtus Pro.
Blast-off has such a long silence duration. Level 3 is 6 seconds, I think it's only matched by that Prophet.
It's everything that Techies has kind of feels like this though, right? Like, you know when you get hit by the max room, 5 seconds on a stasis trap. You just sit there, you're like, and it's even more intimidating because you know there's probably a Techies nearby. You're just like counting down the seconds very slowly until you're released from hell.
You're just counting down the seconds until you die to mines. Yeah,
you know he's wiggling nearby, right? You're like, I know it's coming. There's going to be an explosion.
So I would be surprised if FNG didn't get more of these Centaur coursers for the Cloak Aura. This aura actually stacks. He can get a bunch of those for the mines as well, which would be pretty cool.
They fixed that, right?
Did
you
they?
only get one now. Yeah, because remember, I think it was TNC were using it a hell of a lot. They were winning big tournaments with a lot of champ picks. And they changed. I think
must have missed it. Yeah, must have.
Yeah,
missed
so
it.
if you look at the dumb little potato creep, you get 20% resistance on creeps now. I think it used to be 10 on everything, but you cannot stack the aura.
Yeah. All right. I'll believe you. I'll believe you.
Let's be honest, Liz. It was completely and utterly busted. It was
Yeah, but
better
you would
than,
get
like,
you were getting 5, I think, and you could stack it. That's what
Yeah.
it was, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, that was just broken though, right? It was better than having a pipe. And it trivialized Chen to a point where, like, you know, even I could play it.
Don't be so harsh on yourself. You're
Dire's
My
bottom
mids
tower
yell at
is
me all
under
day.
attack.
It's getting me down. My self-confidence is gone. As will this tower now be.
look at the tech he's with his smoke. He uses that smoke on his own just to go deep and mine. But the way he's mining isn't only
Radiant's
about
top tower is
getting
under attack.
some
Dire's
kills.
bottom
Look, he's
tower has
about to
fallen.
creep skip. Yeah, in his division exactly. He's putting like every camp has a couple of remotes. Some of them can kill, but some of them are only there to scout people out.
They've scouted him out. Moving down. And there's nowhere near enough to bring down Escort. Instead, he'll be the one going down as the axe caves in the skeletal techies.
Yeah, that's the hood comboed with the Courser aura, so he didn't even lose 50% HP. That was sad. Probably the worst game that I've seen that have on techies.
It's tough.
He did.
Like, look at the heroes he's playing against, Liz, right? We already comment on the fact, you know, you got a pipe builder there, you got the Chen, you got a hero who can just get magic immunity, and then another one who has built-in magic.
Then again, S4 jumps in.
On the S1, he takes a fragment pin as well, and now the call's gonna come out. That's the call out. One's gonna be used right now. Liz standing ground, he's feeling pretty bulky. They will try to wail on him hard here, but the one to heal him up, no one's the one running with a haste ring now slowly running out. He will retreat. Alliance, they stand their ground against the wombo combo of VP. I mean, I say wombo.
It wasn't really a wombo combo.
Yeah,
was
that was
it?
pretty much a whoopsie, if anything.
It was just a golem and fatal bonds. It was also very interesting that they used that just before raid was about to be completed. They had the opportunity to just back out because they had a very, very defensive ward. You see that ward next to the hard camp on the side, on the triangle, the dire one. It's so defensive, it's crazy. But also, it allowed Spectre to see Axe and move back. They had an option to retreat and not fight there. They just decided to fight. They thought they were strong enough.
Yeah, I honestly, I didn't even check Spectre's inventory at the beginning of that fight. I assumed he finished the radiance. When you go in for a jump like that, we commented on this yesterday in the bait game, right? They made the exact same error. They fought just before radiance. It was a big wash of a fight, and then they couldn't do anything for 2 minutes.
And the only difference here is that this radiance is coming way sooner.
Yeah.
I think this is about 3 minutes earlier than in that game, so this radiance might come fast enough at
bottom
least.
tower has fallen.
Well, so
There's a lot
far,
of sustain.
I mean, VP, they're gonna need it as well, because you gotta give credit where credit's due. Alliance are shrinking the map pretty effectively, but you expect that when you've got a Chen draft, right? It is about taking those towers early.
They just have so much sustain on Virtus.pro. Sorry, on Alliance. There's obviously Chen that has a mech. Then you have a Sunray as well. Nyx isn't easy to
Dire's
kill.
middle
Viper
tower
isn't
is
easy
under
to kill.
attack.
And then you have Axe with the completed pipe.
It's a tough one, right? The only thing you maybe look and go Alliance don't have, as we saw, wasn't the quickest burst down, is they maybe don't have the damage yet. Then you look at the items coming out next. Deso's about to be complete on Nico, baby. And that life steal alone will
Dire's middle
that
tower
jump.
is under
crap out
attack.
of everyone. Oh, so
Deep,
nothing being
that's
done.
for-
That's for- He's fine. He's confident with this right now. But for how long they're going to throw him up? The pipe, my friend, the pipe, it mildly tickles. He throws out the call he's holding on to, and they did use spell bond. Coming out the end, he's going to immediately jump the top of the game, bring it in, and now the Banshee does one ring for a run and run them down. Defense bomb out, trying to do the damage, turn around on the storm, will bring him down. Finally, S4 hits the deck. RTW
really well for versus Pro in that fight because they got them where they wanted them. Everyone was Fateful bonded, and then Zayas from behind jumps in with that blast off, pretty much connecting on almost everyone, silencing a lot of heroes. Now the problem was, because they were grouped up so heavily, Spectre's Haunt had to be in the Nether Toxin, right? Whoever you're hitting, you're in Nether Toxin because they're all in it. Because of that, he wasn't really pushing out a lot of damage and wasn't really that tanky, and he needed to retreat all the time, which leaves Storm isolated under the ATOS. He dies first, and then you can't really continue that fight any longer.
And you know, you look at the kill count, and you're like, oh, that's not too bad for VP. But when you check the network exchange, it was more or less even. I think both sides got about 800 gold. The difference is you just used your rock and your haunt for it. And now Alliance, look what they do straight away. Into the pit. They go, okay, no big ult, no way you can stop this.
Yeah, the Desolator is completed. There is a smoke from Centaur, but I have a feeling this is more just to set up some traps, you know, over the map, some mines, which is what he's doing most of the time anyway. He breaks the smoke of Limp.
Yeah, they'll break each other's smoke there. Limp will move past, they see a better target or an easier one lead. Warlock will be brought down. Let's be honest, right?
Also,
one's a pos 5, one's a pos 4, but you never chase the techies.
I mean, if you're a Viper, you could, right? You have Essence Ring, and you have Corrosive Skin. How much do you care about techies? Of course he can kill you, but it's not going to be that easy. Yeah, he needs a lot of mines.
I love your like carelessness to life. It's like, nah, I live it on the edge. Kill me, but I can also kill him. Down one dying. That smoke might be FNG or is he? Storm out of mana here, needs an out. Stampede will run out soon. He's got enough for one ball lane. No, he doesn't get high enough. Oh, they catch him on the low ground. They'll bring him down. That is a very, very sad Storm score.
Yeah, he had so little mana. I actually was surprised that he even tried to jump on the high ground there. He miscalculated that one. Very unconventional for no one Storm. By the way, he had a good chance to kill off there to get the kill, but the problem was Hanskin found Centaur. He used Vessel and Sunray on him, and because of that, Centaur couldn't blink in to help Storm out. It was a good attempt. They were doing this pincer movement, but Phoenix just messed everything up.
And Alliance are just a little bit quicker, and as a result, now they are back on VP's side of the map on the high ground, knocking at the door.
Yeah, Nico is huge. He's about to finish a halberd as well.
I mean, he's not as much knocking on door, firing it down, use the banger around for Alliance. They move in again, they got the break. That means but I think the one to use right now, but the jump of the blast off the stance on 3. They're going to move this side, and has got the egg, but that stance lasts so long. However, there's not enough damage out of VP, and instead, techies will join the other support and Graves on the side of Pro. So Alliance now have to move to the base.
Just so much sustain on the side of Alliance. He got every item they needed. Plus, the neutral items were good for them. Essence Ring on Limp helps out so much. Then you get Aquila on the Lifestealer to help you out a little bit. Vampire Fangs for some extra lifesteal as well on Axe. Just everything working in their favor, and they're also playing really well against the techies.
Almost definitely. They're not giving him time to set anything up, right? That's the most important part.
Phoenix, he's got him.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
He had been there a long time, but they just realized that, like, okay, there's no way he'd set up another trap elsewhere, so in we go.
It's a big one. They don't have the egg to work with now, but on the side of VP, you don't really have anything, right? You have the rock, I guess, but the horn go with it. Yeah, they have everything but the horn, pretty much. But that's
right now, they're gonna bring down again. So both supports and Alliance now dead, and the causing a little bit of trouble. Bomb's going down, Zan. Keep it quiet. He can make a break, don't kill him wherever he can. He comes out, Airforce is big. It's gonna allow him to actually get some kills in return. Limp does go down. One standard, but there's nothing they can do here. Aegis is gone, and now when it comes back up, what's the next for Nico, baby? Hold on, range still for now, but one more second, and it won't be enough. Double kill for Alex and double VP on the base.
the work that Warlock plus techies do as this support combo is just sick. Yeah, they didn't have the egg, and it's the focal point of Alliance's team fight, right? Team fight in abilities, that is. They should have waited for the Phoenix. They pushed way too hard. Zayats again with a perfect dunk onto them to get like multiple hero silence. And that silence is so long and so disgusting when you don't have any mantas, any BKBs, nothing like that. You can't shake it off. Yeah, Axe is getting a Yules, but it wasn't there yet. He still needs a couple of hundred.
No, I mean, we saw the effect when Alliance pushed it on the bot lane, right? That blast off meant that Hanskin, if he wasn't silenced, would have dove deeper and maybe they would have had more initial kills on that first skirmish into VP's base. But you're right, 7 seconds is absurd.
Also, Sunray is something that's really, really strong for Alliance because they're all beefy. So percentage-based Sunray really helps them out. They need it.
I mean, the other thing as well about this support combo, right? We saw it when Solo went bot early on, is even on the laner phase is complementary for the Shadow Word value. You know, if there's any hero that would love to be healed up and needs to be regularly, it's going to be a Technics.
They can't make too many of these mistakes because
It's a
I'm not gonna say, yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna say that they're on a big timer, but you are playing versus the techies, and every time you make a mistake like that, it allows Zayats to spread his minds around. I'm not gonna call them in any bad way.
Nah, he puts his spiky balls all over the map. People don't like it. Let's put it that way. Here's the techie shenanigan, right? It's like, you know, when you lose a fight and the other team comes out and they finally start warding again, you're like, well, this isn't safe anymore. Tech uses that.
He's got Diagonals, and he put the minefield sign on top lane, so I think that should deter them. Yeah, they're pinging it. They might go mid though.
Yeah. This is kind of the crux about this strategy, is they go, all right then, I'll just switch lanes.
But that's where you do the big brain thing. You put the sign on one side,
And then mine's on
but
the
the
other.
mine's on the other. Yeah.
All right, but don't worry,
And
Liz.
many players do that. Yeah.
I've got a big brain thing that you can do in return. You also find kills with Storm Spirits. That Yules already having some value, but I don't think they've got enough follow-up. They're out of range.
Let the fun begin.
Yep. Limp wasn't really there to follow up with Atos, sadly for him, and because of that, no one is happy to stay alive and go back. I'm actually curious why Zayats isn't planting these mines around the cliffs, which is how usually people do.
I think he's more paranoid about the defense of the base right now. They just lost enough tower. And look
No,
at this.
I'm just arguing for your point in which you say, yeah, they always use the sentries when they're pushing the other side, you know.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if-
So
if they-
basically spread it out across the entire base, right? Like you create lasting fence.
You just put them around these spots around the trees, you know, and then when you have them there, you can pull someone in, let's say with a storm or something like that. Bait them, you know. Good call. Spectre is dead, but most importantly for them, techies is as well. And because of that, he cannot mine and defend forever. However, it looks like they have no sentries here. Yeah, they backed out.
Like techies might be dead, but he can just select these mines and press one button. It is a problem.
They're just risking it on the top lane. I mean, they have the pipe, corrosive skin. Nyx is very tanky with his halberd.
They missed their opportunity now. Something's trying to scare them, maybe pull them back the wrong way, but you've given them the keys, they're in now. They don't even need to be where you're going to predictably put them on.
They're so scared, even they infest into the Viper, so, you know, so they don't risk anything.
Dyer's middle barracks.
Science says no. There's not enough mines there. He's done the maps. I don't even know how you can with that many little balls laying around.
They have a lot of lines here, but yeah, they're being deleted.
Yep, now Liquipedia is like, okay, time to hit creeps and heal up again. We're going to back away. Alliance, they're going to respect their score. He might consider going in. They actually do control him up low from there. No one needs to be careful himself about this. He gets separated from the team to jump in. The best bomb comes out. They don't hear anyone at all, but now with the slow to the red zone, he's definitely going down here. No one can't even try to risk to help. He has to get out. This someone expects that means she can't either. And they chase the portal to her neck, trying to bring her down. They got open wounds in 2 seconds. Can she get out? Dagger, open wounds is going to be there, and the creeps are spot out. The egg as well, along with the room. That's going to be deflected down by 85. Buyback straight away. No one needs time to confess for. S4 goes to the call, but they'll be away. But it doesn't matter. GG gets called. VP are destroyed by Alliance in game 1.
Answer to the whole techie stick. Even though they picked Spectre after the Axe, Axe had a completely free game. They didn't contest him from
FY, he's found himself No-Tail out on his own.
He's trapped.
It's No-Tail. Is he going to get any sort of backup? No, there's 3 still dead on OG. There'll be a slow and painful death here with No-Tail as Arme comes in for the kill secure.
I love the way that Chalice punches BKB super early in that fight. I just need to get my ulti off, and he casts it at a very safe range, even though the last second he's not very greedy. I think that's a lot of the reason why they've been winning these team fights. Sevens is struggling still about 1,000 all the way from his BKB.
Yeah, this Brewmaster is a display of perfection. I mean, it's the highest level in the game with his Bloodseekers.
Even as well.
Now has Shiva, so even more ways. He's pretty much itemized entirely just to be like, Ana, I'm ruining your game. I've got Radiance, I've got Shivas. You're going to struggle so much in these fights as well.
Eric's did his best to keep on the line. Wasn't able to get it. That elimination
Got to be
Watch
careful who
Jerax.
shows up top. Indeed, Jerax is going out on his own. He doesn't expect Arme to have this invis route. As Arme will show himself, Jerax goes across, but Somnus is there.
Someone is not messing around rupturing.
No mercy. They're feeling very confident now at this point, getting these very advantageous team fights as well as getting kills on the split push too. Thompson though, we'll find X-Nova.
Seb in as well. Between the two of them, they'll take down the support edge. FY's going to come in though. He hasn't got anyone else with him at the moment. It is just FY, so just playing around with Seb.
He has no help around at all, and he's still just making Seb's life miserable.
He's just toying with him. He's just making him not be able to come back. Look, they're already starting to rotate this Brewmaster and Bloodseeker too, and FY, he's ready to look for Seb.
Seb's got to get out.
Oh, Seb.
As indeed FY, the patience keeping that control on Seb, buying time for Chalice to come in. Anna is going to look towards the tusk. Chalice is now there, does have Primal Split available if he wants to look to take this fight. Somnus coming in as well. As Anna, Seb look to hide in the trees. Can they get out of it? Anna's got a TP available. He's into the trees, he's going to show himself in the lane though. They're going to continue to head over. They are going to see Seb make it out in time. They don't have a stun. Anna, can he get out as well? He can. OG will avoid that rotation from PSG LGD.
FY is just so obnoxious. They're following Seb for over a minute, just stalking him, trying to have his team come over.
So that's about, a minute without Aegis being used for LGD. They have 2 minutes left, I would say, to capitalize on this Aegis. Oh man, looks like he is level up.
Pretty much back to a 50-50. PSG LGD 2-1 up at the moment in this best of 5 grand finals. 1 game needed to secure the championship title. And at this point, they are ahead here in game 4.
No-Tail hasn't had time to gather a full army of Ancient Creeks. Right now, he just has the Ancient Black Dragon. You really want those other auras when you're at a big disadvantage in the team fights already.
Yeah, it's tough though, because Jerax doesn't want to be following around his Chen, giving him the Aghanim, so. As Thompson, see, he does have a Lincoln Sphere picked up, and they should have the BKB finished on Seb too. So they'll give him a little bit easier time to get those blink calls out as he's been suffering to do so in the last few fights. And Somnus, well, I'd Scotty picked up, about to be level 25 as well.
Yeah, they just need a couple more minutes on the side of OG before they're ready to fight. Wait for ages to expire.
Seb, he's in, gets the call, the character's going to get FY, there with the snowball save, he's going to be fine, and now they turn to look towards the axe. The taunt's going to be out, Seb goes for the TP, they've got the stun to cancel them. Seb held back for now, Thompson trying to offer his best from the side to provide some sort of safety, as he will get Seb back. They're able to get Seb back to safety, and Thompson is running away. X-Nova's there with the wraparound, gets the slow off, gives the vision for the snowball. TP from No-Tails coming in towards the stride, but Thompson, he's trapped.
That's twice in the series that X-Nova just comes out of nowhere. Like, he's just on a warding expedition, then he just ends up wrapping behind these people constantly.
Perfect time.
Perfect timing, and has the senton creep to boot. And look at these deep wards that he's placed during that time that he was running around doing so. He now has full vision of OG. Yeah, sees Ana farming these HUs right now.
Oh, Ana. FY just giving so much information for the team. He's got eyes on him. Get the punch on the wrong target, but the snowball pass will catch Ana. Ana, he's in trouble. The blood right silence connects. He's got the Manta back up in a second, but can he really play his way out of this one? He cannot. Ana down for a minute and a half.
Just having all this vision. And X-Nova throughout this whole tournament has had the best vision in every situation, even when you wouldn't expect it. They're just like, oh, they're fighting on the left side. They're not going to have vision over here. But no, X-Nova always seems to have those prepared in every situation.
And he has some incredible foresight to be able to have these wars that just lead to really clutch pickoffs. And Axe has not spent his money on BKB. He has the money, but he might be looking to save for buyback.
We'll see if any of the buybacks do get forced out. Thompson's still dead for 15. Ideally, he doesn't buy back here. They may have to buy back on Ana. He's gone for 50 seconds. The split coming out from Chalice. He's ready to push in, look for the stun on No-Tail to hold back the Chen. As the mid-racks are exposed, PSG LGD, 40 minutes in, able to open into the base and clean out this mid lane of Rack. Still Ana holding on to that buyback.
And they're going to keep going here. They really want to force this PL to come back here.
Stun onto Thompson. He will blink dodge it. But another tier 3 tower falling incredibly fast. They really don't want to use it. Seb jumps in, gets the call onto FY. There's the buyback. The cataclysm isn't enough to do anything. It isn't. PSG LGD still fighting stroke. Thompson getting focused by Saunders. Seb taken down by Armin. The triple buybacks now out as Ana in trouble. He's pulled back for this one. The deafening blast onto the three of them. Knocks the back, but Ana gets focused. Seb! He's in with the call. He has the control onto the morphing Saunders. Now being chased by Thompson. Blinks in with the cold snap. The PLR is on top of it. They get Saunders too. As OG, they have to expend 3 buybacks, but they hold on to the top rack. Saunders now down for 2 minutes. No buyback available on this Bloodseeker.
Yeah, he's 400 gold short of it. It's up in about 8 seconds. OG, they have to make so much happen here. They have to push out all their lanes. 2 of the side lanes are already going, but I think trying to get some kills here, like on FY here, would be very ideal.
Yeah, look how close to Brew is at 25.
So close.
With that time of split cooldown.
Oh, Thompson, he sees it FY. He's used the snowball, he turns with the combo. FY with the self-heals, but OG, they've surrounded him. Seb jumps in with the call, the blade mail. FY's gone.
Instant buyback from FY.
Still that scary, scary time for LGD. 75 seconds without Somnus. OG have the full 5-man pushing in all 3 lanes at the same time as they approach LGD's base.
I don't even know if I get ahead of that. This team fight. The LGD are goal, but no blood take up to 60 seconds. This could be disastrous.
He's got a full BKB on Seb as well.
Chalice really wants to hit level 25 before he pops that primal split. So close.
Just got to be careful, Seb. Looking for that blink initiation.
Chalice is stepping back. Grabs, they gave him the tome. He needed like 5 experience, and they gave him the tome just to make sure that he gets it anyway. Playing as safe as possible here.
Looks like OG don't feel that the window is big enough for them to push in whilst this Bloodseeker's still dead. They'll back away.
They can't count. They bought back 3 heroes. They weren't able to get any T3s, and there's no Roshan up yet. Big Daddy No-Tails praying for a Roche right now so we can get that refresher, but it's not going to be up. And maybe we'll dodge a bullet.
At least they got a good amount of economy off that, right? It was up to a 15k gold advantage, and they chunked it down to 7. Same thing with experience. So they did get quite a lot out of that one, but they ideally wanted to get at least one of those sets of racks to get some momentum pushing it with those 3 buybacks used.
Absolutely, it is this really scary moment of the game now for OG. We're about 5-6 minutes still without those buybacks available. If PSG LGD can find that one team fight, it could be the team fight to win TI in this window of time that they now have presented to themselves.
Ana's gone full in for that butterfly too. As they pick up also an A on his Jeremy, so protected and DD did spawn, however, it was killed.
It's also pretty scary for Maybe right now. He only has a 5-second BKB, and he does a lot of damage and will get wrecked by the X-Blade Mail Call if he finds him, especially with his BKB now. There's not that many ways to stop him.
It's just all about FY and Chalice, right? Just either saving or just getting into the midst of the fights and not allowing OG to get the picks.
And the smoke is going to be dispelled.
Let's get dispelled.
Ana, he's in the trees. They're on the high ground. They've got the vision with the Shiva's covered. Ana's on his way over. They've got the snowball down. There's the Cannibal Seb. Jumps in. He's able to find the call onto Chalice, but Chalice already got the BKB out. The Sunstrike's going to be down onto FY, but FY will survive. Seb pots the BKB. He'll try and stand his grab, but Seb, he's going to go down. No buyback on the axe. As Jarex as well, surrounded by PSG LGD. The Eon disc will proc, but they'll fight through it.
He has to buy back immediately.
Look at these creep track by these Force Spirits. On the bottom row, they have no creeps in the mid lane.
See Ana. Still holding on to that buyback on Jarex. But as Ben said, the creeps aren't here.
It's backdoor. Can they breach through it? It's not looking like it right now. Maybe everyone hitting the same one.
That creep cutting, is it enough to hold OG in the game?
You see No Tail's already running to just, he doesn't care, he's gonna throw his life for this. He needs to just keep these creeps out of the base to keep that back door up. He doesn't care if he dies.
Which he certainly will, as they get upon him. They find his life. 1 minute now without No Tail and without Seb. Thompson, Ana, and Jarex. The only 3 heroes that can offer their defense during this final minute, this final stand.
Jarex is really trying to hold on to his buyback.
As Chalice split the course up once again. They're finishing off this second set of racks. He's got the Cyclone holding Ana up in the skies. As this rack's on the top lane will fall, the melee rack's gone. PSG LGD playing this carefully. As they'll go down towards the bottom as well. Arme, doppelgangers, he's losing a fair bit of mana into the PL. Still able to shift back into their Morphling if needs be. As OG, they will lose their top racks, but they won't lose the game. PSG LGD are playing it safe. They know how close they are to victory, and they will not throw it away.
And they know that the Roche is probably respawning pretty soon, and it actually is up, so that is that refresher shard. They already have pretty much infinite primal splits up anyway, but they feel very confident here.
They weren't able to deward that ward in the mid lane, so it looks like they are going for a Roche fake out.
Ana is on top of X-Nova. The Ghost Step's going to get a set. He's in. The call, the MP, the cannibal, and F4 is in. He's able to get the save off in time to keep this man alive. Chalice is down. Buyback from X-Nova and Chalice. FY with the Invis. Somnus looking to get involved. Post the BKB to get over the ice roll. They get on top of Seb. Seb's in trouble. Seb's gone. The axe down once again for 90 seconds. As now FY giving them the vision, but they see him. The doppelganger to jump away from the snowball over to Thompson, the self-fuels, FY trying to buy time for the rest of LGD to come in, again, up into the air, Arme straight on top of No Tail, FY will fall, Arme look at the walls, No Tail pops the hand and gone, but No Tail beaten down by Arme and Somnus. Chalice gets the primal split off his Ana, it's been left behind in Thompson, he's got to do something incredible in terms of the combo, can he find the angle, Jarex coming in, keeping Ana alive, Ana with the doppelganger, the deafening blast comes out onto the 2 of them, Ana trying to go in, looking for the kill, can he find it in time onto X-Nova, he's on top of him, trying to beat him down, Ana again with the doppelganger, now retreating back towards the base, as X-Nova will survive, Jarex back in, the combo, meatball down onto Chalice, but Chalice is so tanky, Bob the Shiva's gone, he's on top of Jarex, Jarex is gone, Ana as well, can he really fight back against the Somnus, and X-Nova is so low, as the buyback for Jarex comes in, he's healing Ana back up, that buyback could set them up for the kill on X-Nova, the cold snap, down onto the charge, and they find him, Arme, he's out of mana, he's starting to shift into the strength, but he's surrounded, OG, can they find the ball? They can! OG are still in the game, Arme buys back immediately, but now it's PSG LGD's turn to be without 2 of their supports. Seb's going to be back up in 8 seconds.
Oh my god, that buyback from Jarex onto that shrine, being able to save Ana, but Ana also toying with them with that doppel. He sent the illusion, they thought that was the real one. They actually couldn't finish him off, even though they got the thirst vision of him for a second.
With the level 25 talent on the doppelganger, it's
Look at this.
really hard to kill him.
Seb.
Yeah.
He's looking straight for the plate. Can he find Somnus? He's hunting. Somnus. He's He's there, Seb. You'll see him. Oh! Doesn't get the call though, and now Seb. He'll be ruptured. They're looking at him, but Anna, he's straight in on top of Somnus. Somnus puts the BKB. Anna again with the double gather. They see Cataclysm coming out. And Somnus still alive. Anna will be able to force him away. They've got the hex. They've got the control. They're on top of him. Can they kill him in time? They can. Chalice gone for 2 minutes. And Seb, he's finding, looking for Arme. Big Daddy No-Tail gets the penitence out. Only onto the illusion though. Arme able to waveform up to the high ground. It's Arme. Should be fine here.
Thompson's got the ghost strike. He's got hex
Maybe
up soon too.
Oh, the doppelganger Arme's over the trees. Can he hide his way out of this?
Goes back, real one.
Goes for the waveform. Seb tries for the call, but he's already out of there. Nice, nice play from Arme.
And he buys so much time too for his team there. The Brewmaster was dead for 120 seconds, now only 90.
Still a big window for OG. They're only without Jerax for the same amount of time. And that lead the PSG LGD had, it is going down a little bit. Only 4K, 5K at the moment with these last few fights. Obviously the 25 is now coming out on OG. Thompson's into the pit.
What a timely DD coming out for him too. I don't think they expected to be taken out as fast. He's almost able to solo it with the help of these summons. And that's a refreshment.
Virtus Pros turn
We've been
to
learning
battle.
about overscoping, right? Where you just like try and plan too much, always work with one concept and build on it.
Yeah.
And it's like you, like Santa's like you could literally use this as a masterclass on overscoping. They've promised everything.
Yeah.
Open world, best PvP, customization, whole economy. Like,
Turn to
oh
battle.
god.
Virtus Pros turn to
It's like
battle.
it's like the game design plan for that was written by a 5-year-old who was writing what they want from Santa that year.
Alliances turn to battle.
And the big fire truck and the other thing.
Virtus Pros turn to battle.
All right, let's
Yeah,
hop on
that-
camera.
Yeah.
Alliances turn to battle.
All right, live in 5, 4. Man, I feel like we should even discuss that on camera, actually, Liz. We're back, guys. Hello, welcome back. We've just been... I keep doing that with the camera. Half of us is visible. They keep seeing your nipples and nothing else. Now they see the entirety. That's... but, yeah, we've just been nerding out about different MMOs, mocking Star Citizen, while we waited for game number 2. Because Alliance... Oh, man, they've started this game off well for EU fans. Because actually, today is... it's kind of EU... versus CIS
10 seconds
fanboyism
remaining.
to begin with, but then we've got EU versus EU and CIS versus CIS.
5
So
seconds
clearly,
remaining.
Liz, this is how we discern which region is better if we go by, you know,
Alliances
like
turn
Reddit
to
9K MMR brain standards.
I'll just break it to you. EU is better. That's it. Right now, EU is just much stronger. It's not even a contest. I don't.
If you take Secret out of the
they're
equation,
just strong. Still.
because like Prodigy, would you say Prodigy? I feel like Prodigy's been kind of on Nigma and OG's level, right?
10
I mean,
seconds
Prodigy is
remaining.
strong right now. That's true. But
5 seconds
it's a team
remaining.
that still has to prove themselves, you know, for
Longevity.
like, for longevity, for staying together, for being stable when slump starts, something that Nigma OG can definitely do well. But Prodigy, they surprised us all. Like the recent performances from that team have been outstanding. They've been doing really well considering that they formed like 2 months ago or something, and they
It was a
got
very short time.
FN and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty sick. Now, will Alliance ban techies or not?
They will. I've been waiting for it because I want to surprise everyone. But let's whip into the draft because there is one ban left. I mean, if you're Alliance, you're sitting there going,
Virtus
we kind of
Pros
figured
turn
out
to
techies,
battle.
but even though we're
Alliances
Alliance, we
turn
still
to
can't figure out how to count nature
Enchantress.
profit. So we'll get rid of that instead.
Enchantress picked up by VP. Jan is banned.
Alliances
So the
turn
Zoo
to
number 1 for
Virtus
VP, 0 for
Pros
Alliance so
turn to
far. And Beastmaster is in the pool. And they're still gonna get it.
There it is.
So look, this is the thing. People call this like the opening to get the Beastmaster. So you open with Ench so you can get Beastmaster afterwards. Because no one wants to play Beastmaster into Ench. And Beastmaster's boards just don't work versus her.
10 seconds
She just
remaining.
wins that lane by enchanting the boards all the time. But Alliance
5 seconds
are like,
remaining.
okay, you can take Hench. We don't care. We still value Beastmaster more. And I'm not
Virtus
sure. We'll
Pros
see how the lane
turn to
goes for them.
battle.
Sometimes this can be really bad for the Beastmaster.
I think in the past, like previous years, we used to see the just skip boards, right? You just go for the axes, but that has been less favorable in recent times after the changes.
Yeah, like that's the usual counter. Just skip boards, lol. Just go axes, lol.
It's
yeah,
a
but then you're
missing
missing
the really big experience we talked about yesterday, right? But you just don't level spells.
Yeah, just don't take spells, man. No, it's definitely a good solution to the Enchantress lane, but then you don't have your arguably strongest component when you're level 3, and that's the level 2 boar. So you're not nearly as strong of a laner, and everything is delayed. Your Necro 3 is going to not come at minute 12, but at minute 18, you know? I'm over-exaggerating a little bit, but we'll see how it goes for Alliance and what they have in store for us, because these teams, they prepared for it, and if you leave Enchantress and Beastmaster in the pool, you know that the first picking team is going to go for Enchantress.
Yeah, and things that we do see gone for a lot to base detriment yesterday was the Venge Luna. We at least want to see the Venge that gets banned out by VP in the second phase. They'll still leave a Luna available. I could see it slotting into Alliance's draft as it stands right now.
I could really see it for Alliance. I mean, Virtus.pro can do it as well. It won't be that bad for them. Both of these teams can go for it. Versus Beastmaster, it's a little bit wonky because of all the creeps that he has, so your ulti isn't as strong. But for Alliance, it would be really good because you would have Beastmaster, then Luna with her aura as well. It's pretty strong, and you don't really care about Enchantress or Grimstroke as a Luna, so we'll see. We'll see if they get it. Also, one big thing is that Shadow Demon can't be picked by Virtus.pro because they've already shown their card when it comes to sports. And because of that, you won't be countered by that measly little position 4 Shadow Demon.
That's true. You know, we don't really see the Ench in the core role anymore. I feel like it's kind of completely died off since they made the switch around, so you don't get your untouchable until 6 now.
There's still some teams that do it every now and then, but yeah, it's not done as often at all. What's funny is like when Insania used to play on kind of teams that are similar to my level, and it's the same team just long time ago. It's the same this Liquid stack, but long time ago. He used to ban Enchantress versus us every single game, just to ban out my Enchantress.
Talking about this, like I regularly, whenever we'd hop in lobby, like Lizzie, big fan, love your Enchantress, also hate it.
Yeah, but the thing is, I would abuse it versus him on the offlane, and then he would have these PTSDs and just ban it versus us. Even though I wouldn't play it because I'm not playing that role, but. Yeah, in any case, I love that guy, man. I don't know why, but he's such a dear person to me. It's not like we talk a lot or that he's my close friend or something. It's just that I like him.
You just have fond memories, right? Like I never really feel like I've heard bad things about Insania, whether it's your pub experience, whether you've seen him on camera or anything else. You know?
Yeah, that's actually that's what it is about. It's about the pub experience. So when he came into Dota, I was actually playing for somewhat solid teams. Let's say we would be able to take games off of tier 1 teams, and he came completely out of Hon. He was still Hon trash, and he would get in a pub with me, just pick Bounty Hunter every game and narrate every fucking thing he does. He would be like, okay, I'm about to shuriken toss this guy, then track that guy. He's very eloquent as well, so it sounded much better than I'm depicting it, but...
yeah, he was really nice about it, but detailed. Like, is there anyone in this lobby that you've had that experience with? Is there anyone of these players that's maybe, you're like, okay, shut up, but in a good way. You just tell me everything, I don't need to know.
Nah, I had Nico Baby muted for the longest of times.
And then like, oh great, pro player, about unmute him to see if he's better.
And no one would flame me whenever I'd match up mid against him, because I would have 5 CS when he has like 25, you know? And then I'd still win because I'm abusing some visage or something, so I deserve the flames. Not as... Do you see the camera, please?
Hold on, let me whip that camera up quickly. I told you look like some sort of weird heaven scene, right? I was gonna like have a harp play. Let's get back in the draw. I mean, speaking of people who are abusing heroes, which is very potent right now, we did just see Viper picked up again by Alliance.
Naga Siren.
Oh, this should be the Naga mid versus him as well. I've seen this a couple of times. I think it should be.
You can't run
Naga
Void Spirit
versus-
there, right? You have to run something else.
Yeah, I think it's the Naga Siren. I've seen this lane, and some players consider it as a direct counter, so we'll see if that works out or not,
10
because Viper is really scary at the moment. But yeah, I still think Limp tweeted out recently, like he has a 20 win streak in pubs with Viper or something. He just picks it constantly.
God, that's wait, no.
Our hero is just way too strong. He's just way too strong. For pubs at least, because you tilt the enemy midder because you win the lane hard, and then they just tilt everyone else on their team. It's like a ripple effect.
That is true. You know, your pop mid experience usually is him yelling at the rest of the team and why they aren't doing things.
When it comes to VP, this Void Spirit can be played on offlane, I think most probably, and then they'll decide to either put Naga mid or safe lane. I think it should be safe lane as well. I jumped the gun there when I said versus Viper. I've seen some teams do it, but most likely what it is, it's Naga versus the Beastmaster on the lane. The high armor also helps versus the boars.
I think it's more you're trying to, like, you're focusing on the fact that even if it's not Naga mid, it can't be Void Spirit mid, right? Like, Void Spirit gets screwed over by any hero that has a way of going around his Resonant Pulse. So that's why, like, I think recently Secret ran an anti-mage against the Void Spirit, and he's done nothing.
I don't know. It looks like Alliance, they actually are expecting Void or Naga to be mid because they just banned out the Centaur. So they're expecting the last pick of Virtustro to be actually the offlane. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure how well Void Spirit does there, but I'm certain that he can at least secure that range creep and perhaps play around the high ground.
Well, the thing is, you don't know what's in Alliance's safe lane right now. I guess the thing for VP is there someone they can pick that keeps flexibility. We're gonna see Weaver. Okay, that could be flexible, right? You could run that really anywhere in the mid, safe lane, off lane. Probably not 4 because we should have Grimstroke and Enchantress as support.
I'm not sure, but I think it should be Grimstroke plus Void Spirit on the offlane. It could be Grimstroke and Weaver as well, definitely. Your Weaver position tree is very popular in the CIS, the one that goes for Aghanims early on. In a game such as this one, getting an early Vessel as well would be pretty cool. Depends on what Alliance last pick as well. Virtustro, Naga is good safe lane, it's decent mid as well, I think, in this game, so they can roll her the way they want to.
You may now select your heroes.
Oh man, it's good versus Spirit and Weaver. Faceless Void actually is really good versus the Void Spirit and the Weaver, and it looks like Void Spirit will be offlane, yeah. Yep.
Kind of as we were anticipating then in the end, so no one in the middle on that Naga. And I think we saw Alliance, they kind of had this comparative of Void versus Weaver as the game went on, but they had the Weaver last time and completely just outplayed. So there is that kind of outplay potential there where you can bait Faceless Void into bad chronos, but he has a lot to play around here.
You mean because of the Aghanims, right?
Oh, no, I mean he was genuinely, I think it was Nico Baby was on the Weaver and he was just juking out chronos and dodging them with time-lapse.
Yeah, so later on in the game, it's kind of hard to catch the Weaver because of the ulti, right, and the Scucci. The stage can be problematic for the Weaver because of the time dilation. If you use Scucci aggressively and then he time dilates, you're very squishy on a Weaver. Pretty much all you have got going for you is your mobility and your invis, your stealth. So that lane can be hard, but this should be your Weaver position 1 on the safe lane, and then the Void Spirit and Grimstroke should be on the off lane together as a combo, which is a solid lane as well.
Yes. Yeah, you can just run down with the Ink Swell, you get the stun, and then you have a follow-up stun with the Aether Remnant. So there's a lot of damage potential. Of course, you want to spread out, right? If you try and burst, you're not going to kill the Void early because they'll just time walk it off.
I'm just interested in seeing what ILTW is going to go for on this Weaver, what his build is going to be like. I would really like to see something that allows him to be active very early on. A couple of raid bans, maybe an urn, you know, maybe the same build that you would have on an offlane Weaver plus a Maelstrom, something like that.
Prepare for
getting
Stop watching yourself. Alright, they can't see you.
I just had the way like I'm a bride to be wed. Just getting an Aghanim's on Weaver would be pretty cool as well. But you're a position 1 Weaver, so
yeah. We saw the impact of like how risky it can be to have this kind of one core from the mid, right? When we saw Bait do that when they had a Void Spirit one yesterday, and
yeah, but this is different. This is different though, because your mid lane isn't a TA, it's a Naga, and Naga's carry potential is arguably much higher. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, I expect him to probably just go for your kind of standard build into the right clicks and just don't get chrono.
30 seconds to battle.
We'll see how it actually continues.
We were actually correct about the Naga mid as well, so it will be no one playing that Naga Siren on the mid lane versus Viper. I have heard a lot of players, tier 1 players, say that this is heavily favored for Naga.
Yeah, because you can dispel, right? That's the big part.
Well, and Viper doesn't really deal well with all the illusions hitting him.
Because it's physical and he can only build with the magic resistance. And actually, if you think about all the viable Viper builds, none of them really handle physical damage too well. It's always, oh, I can build some magic resistance additionally, or I could give some control.
A build that would be really cool on him, that was built a long time ago, was that Whale. Because you have a Jakiro as well in your team and the Chrono. It would be so cool, but he's not going to buy it. That item right now is way too expensive. It's like the recipe itself is 1,100, so you don't want to go for that.
Yeah, it used to feel so. The previous Veil just felt so godly, actually. I even saw loads of offlaners picking up. I know Zai was especially just building it on every hero in his pub games, because I think he called it the new drums at the time. It was just that item.
It was the Sand King meta, right? Every single Sand King offlane Veil, and you can't kill him anymore. You can see that Limp switched things up a bit on mid. He went for an early Nether Toxin. He isn't going for Corrosive Skin and poison attack, so he's kind of trying to alleviate the pain that comes from Riptide that way.
I like it, especially considering how squishy these illusions are at the start. You already seen the damage they just took. Even on the bot lane, I don't feel like there's going to be much kill potential on either side, right? Because, you know, Weaver can always get away, and there's two bulky boys that can always scare off solo.
I think they can take down Shaker if he overcommits. And LTW, he definitely has a chance to trade well with the Beastmaster, so a good sentry planted by Shaker.
I love that one right there. So they've got Obs on one side, they've got Sentry on the other, and you wouldn't really look here for that ward. Like, you know where LTW's trying to figure it out. He's like, where the hell is this?
You see that block? If it actually blocked him on the other side,
he's dead.
They would dish out a lot. Maybe not dead, but they would really get him low.
There's definitely a hard potential to kill though, because Shikuchi at level 1, 12-second cooldown is pretty rough.
Top lane as well, it's kind of similar situation in which, yeah, you have kill potential with Void Spirit and Grimstroke, but Jakiro is very tanky and Nico Baby just time lapses away. Time walks away that is.
Yeah, it's a tough combo in that regard. I think like if I'm gonna Void Spirit off lane, one of the worst supports to encounter, probably for any offlaner right now, actually, is Jakiro. Actually, what do you prefer? If you had to choose to face a Bane or a Jakiro, which one is going to annoy you more in that lane? Than any lane, really, on average?
I'm not sure. They are kind of the same. Your Jakiros, Banes, Undyings, and Augurs. It's the unholy quartet, I would call them. Like, those heroes you don't want to play against at any point in the game.
See, what I like is that there's going to be a misguided soul, but because you said those 4 heroes are annoying to play against, they're going to advise, because Blizzard said so, that they should pick all of them, right? Then you just win all your lanes.
I mean, in some rank, I'm pretty sure that would work. You just win all your lanes and that's it.
How great must that be? You've done coaching, right? Do you sometimes just get tempted to just tell them anything can work because you're like, well, if I played at that rank, I'd get the win, get the dub.
I don't even think it's that bad. I honestly believe anything can work in this game. It's not about the rank, it's about how you play around it and how good you are with what you're playing. Sometimes the worst hero in the meta can be very good. Bottom lane has 4.
Gonna go down.
There you go.
They get the kill. RTW will live. Meanwhile, on the top lane, there is a little bit of a battle going on. Ixpo's going to come out of the patches straight away. Nice time walk across by Nico, baby. Rezo, he is fast enough to move away. Zayas, however, he gets bashed once. No RNG. He used it all up on Rezo.
Well, if he gets bashed once and then 3 more times, he's gonna die. Is that what you were gonna say?
Hey, don't give Grimstroke that much credit, okay? He's a very, very small ball when he hasn't got his spells available.
Actually, no one is just farming the jungle. Yeah, he's not really playing against Viper, and Limp so far has
11
out-leveled him and out-farmed him, yeah.
Yeah, like you can immediately, all you have to do is look at that stat alone. The amount of denies he's got, no wonder that no one Naga doesn't want to be on this lane. Yeah.
I think it's all about the Nether Toxin, right? It has to be. He started with level 1 Nether Toxin, which prevented no one from riptiding anything, so he adapted to the lane really well when it comes to the skill build, and because of that, he's winning it.
No, I agree. Like, these illusions, 350% damage taken. Like, there's no way you can, even level 1 Never Toxic, you can't stand it. As a result, we're going to get another possibly snowbally Viper game. It's just a case of whether you can reset that though, right? Which, I don't know about you, I'm not feeling 100% confident about support ganks towards the mid. It's not like you're the ones with a shaker that can easily cut him off. So maybe instead you just have to play for the outer lanes, which is working well, because S4 is going to fall again.
Is under attack.
Now they picked the Beastmaster into this Enchantress. He still went for the boars, and Solo is just taking these little beasts and turning them against him.
It's definitely proven problematic. I mean, you haven't really got a support that is going to be present on your lane at all times either, right? Shaker is that type of support that wants to move around the map and away from the lane.
Yeah, Shaker is also the reason why he dies there, because obviously Beastmaster does go out of position, but Hands can use that fissure very, very early.
Oh, look at this.
But maybe here.
There you go. That's the way you use the fissure. They dive the tower, they'll look for the kill, and no one is going to tick out. And while that's happening, Grimstroke in the top lane does go down.
I love how S4 rotates in as well.
Level 4 beast with a catapult. That's a go sign right there. Hence is on our way to try and steal one of those creeps back, but they need to be a little bit careful here. Nice stomp. Good control. They just need to get S4 out now, and there's the fissure. Beautifully done by Hanskin. That's a lot of damage onto the tier 1, despite them being repelled though.
It's really important for them as well to chuck at this tier 1 for as much as possible to take it down early, because it will open up the map a lot and it will be easier to hunt down this Naga. But the response from Virtus Pro is also brilliant, because they send Naga bottom, and this Weaver that's had a really good lane and the bottle can now chill around mid lane, farm, probably uncontested, and then also take all the runes that spawn.
Well, Alliance are going to take someone else. They do find a kill on the solo. In the top lane, some pressure coming out. Nico Baby hasn't got 6 yet. Good luck killing Reza instead. Nico Baby might go down himself. Oh,
they even missed the...
Good.
Wow. You have to use it. He also had Stroke of Fate missed. Yeah, it was missed. It didn't matter.
As mind games, he's like, if you time walk right now, even though he couldn't because he was stunned. So you know what you call it? It's the just to be safe skill, right? Like, you know when you throw an arrow forward at someone, does it get stunned? It's like, just in case that person forgets to use their stun, this arrow will hit. And now
again.
Yeah, they don't have a chrono yet either. Not that you want to use in this situation. Just Rezo jumps in, gets a kill. And Nico maybe might want to be careful himself.
Yes, chrono, but no damage with it. Yeah, absolutely no damage. Weaver bottom lane, Hanskin should be able to TP out.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the easy points for them. Is there's not too much stun control on BP. Most of it is just in one lane actually.
Is under attack.
Limp got a really good neutral item as well on the mid lane. He's got the Arcane Ring. It's so good for Viper, man, giving you that mana from intelligence and then the armor too. That's I actually love Arcane Ring as well overall on any hero early on.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's probably like the best generic I would get. That's a dive and a half. Chasing
that's a dead shaker.
There. He's gone.
He's only level 3, right? So
It's
they're not. Yeah, they're not getting a lot out of it, but they are delaying him.
Oh, the chrono does connect on the CIS, but they were hoping for Rezo here. CIS. There's the back that he has the equal 12, but it's too late.
Yep. There was a chance to counterplay that, but because Beast is there and he has Roar, I think they decide not to. I was actually thinking maybe they will Inkswell the Void Spirit, and then someone TPs it. There's 100% chance of getting at least the Jakiro. They might get him anyway, though.
Yeah. Weaver is top now. But it looks like Lions, they're going to play it vigilant. They realize there's no one else shown on the map. Nobody else, rather. So, they'll just back away.
There you go.
It's the most important thing for Alliance now is just trying to find space for Hanskin. I mean, you see, he's just trying to get the odd creep here and there on the bot lane, but it hurts.
It's always the problem with Shaker. If you don't really win that offlane, suddenly your Shaker is stuck on a really long level trying to farm that blink. And he's far, far from it. If you remember yesterday, I think it was Bait when we were watching them have that Shaker.
They gave him mid, right?
Yeah, they gave him mid and he already had like 1,400 gold. No, he did only go for brown bullets, while this Shaker has tranquilizing stick.
And this Shaker is nowhere near the fight that's occurring right now. FNT throws down the ice pop, it does connect on the Void Spirit, and Void Spirit will chase forward. S4 couldn't get the prime roar out though. Rezo quickly move away with the Astral Death. Meanwhile, they actually do find a decent target with that Shaker. LTW running away, he's gonna tick down low, but he will not die. Now Viper has no control off. They still have a Primal Roar to play around here, so they're going to move forward. No chrono for 50 seconds. They just want the tier 1 tap. Let's see if they can actually get it. I'm feeling like probably not. Yeah. Stroke of Fates alone are slowing down any opportunity to push, but now they're going to go. It looks like VP wants them to have this. They've moved to the other side of the map.
They don't have chrono, right? But they're just so bulky with the Beastmaster and the Viper. They can frontline easily, and they're not afraid of being, I don't know, comboed by anything, because at the moment there are no combos on the Virtus Pro, and they're waiting for at least this Yasha on Naga, but I don't think even that's your power spike.
Sounds underwhelming to me, Liz. Well,
yeah, that's not really.
We'll go when we have a Yash. Okay, what's Rezo getting? Let's think about that instead. He's getting yours, so good for pickoffs, but right now it feels like if Alliance wants to fight you 5-on-5, you back away if you're VP.
Yeah, you can play around as 4. You can play with Rezo and Weaver, but that's it. Your Naga is AFK, completely AFK. And I like the fact Grimstroke didn't even level his ulti, by the way. He's level 7 without the ulti. And it's something that you can really do in games in which you don't have any big combos. And in this game, he has no combos. You can double net or double enchant.
Yeah, that's about as good as it gets. Oh, you double yours.
Weaver?
There you go.
He was about to time-lapse after the chrono, but there was one last bash just as the chrono ended.
Radiant structures are fortified.
RNG works in Liquipedia favor, and Alliance's move will seem favorable as they will be able to secure this tier 1 tower. And you can already see the Hand's going to set up on the top in case VP try and get some chip damage at this tier 2.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Likely they'll just let it be. In fact, actually they won't. Hanskin, you can see it. He's just like, I just want to hit creeps, bro. Come on, I've got 500 gold towards this blink.
No, they really identified the weakness of Alliance right now, and that's this super underfarmed Shaker that can't really even use the Echo because he's level 6 and he doesn't have maxed out Aftershock. It's only level 2.
And he basically, like, once he has that blink, it is the game-winning blink, right? Because you're against the Naga, this Weaver, and this Void Spirit, 2 squishy cores and 1 which has a stack of illusions to play.
Are scanning.
It's the reliable initiation that it brings to Team of Alliance, to Alliance, right? That's what it brings.
It's happening again. This is so good from VP. They'll just move in and clean him up again. They fire him again. Limp doesn't arrive in time to get Zayat. But Rezo gets away with it once more.
It's a good counter kill, but it relieves the pressure as well. That's the problem. suddenly your Viper is stuck on the tier 2. And you can see these rotations from Weaver and Resolution. You see how they're going?
Speaking of Weaver, like
there's no chrono though.
That's the problem. Look at the sentry. He literally just got out of range of it. So they didn't have vision, and now they need to run. Solo being brought down low. Limp puts down the brakes so you can actually hit and do it faster, and as a result, Solo will fall. But I mean, you just need Prong Raw essentially to get an Enchantress, and you still had to bring a lot of heroes here.
Man, Break is so busted. Break is so good. Even versus Enchantress right there, you could see it. Untouchable doesn't work, so they clean her up really easily. I thought that in that situation, Rizpro might get a counter kill because they planned it. They forced 2 rotations to top lane to help Shaker, and then they collapsed on the Beastmaster and Void. But they didn't get anything out of it, just the war that was used. But I don't think you're sad about that if you're Alliance at all.
No, you'll have it again soon. It's just 40 seconds away, and when you do have it, you'll also have a chrono available this time, as that's 5 seconds out. And they do a smoke. As soon as the chrono is available, you use it. That's how this draft works.
Remember the whale we talked about?
It's
on
there.
CIS. Yeah.
Yep. Once the country's some damage, chrono's gonna go down onto the Weaver, and they've got enough to kill him off. Perfect pick, the one that Ashley wanted as well.
I did see those jewels you're talking about, by the way, but maybe FNG will fall.
Well, that's because Alliance were the ones doing the juke when they were playing the Weaver. So, problem is, Nika Baby already knows how Weaver does his juke. And S4, War is being used against them. He has got that Primal Roar, and they can fight this right now. Primal Roar is going to come out. Nika Baby doesn't actually want to help anymore, though. In fact, he needs to leave.
Why are they not going for Void there? They were very passive. Now, okay, there is a it's tier 2, not even a tier 1. Yeah, I'm actually surprised they didn't go for the Void, because they know he has no chrono. He used it earlier on the Weaver, and you haven't snared. Right?
Not just that, also they know there's no the full force is next. Look at Hanskin, who is now going to die top. So I guess they just saw more value in making Hanskin's life even sadder. But they knew Shaker was top the entire time, so they knew they always had number advantage. In that
I really think they had. I really think they had an opportunity there to try and make a kill on Void, but they probably know better. Though they also see that Viper is missing, so he could have been right there. And if you try and commit too hard, you might get counter killed. So better safe than sorry, especially when you're playing the Naga Siren.
Most definitely. I mean, that's the thing for VP. They can get this late enough. Yeah, you're up against the Faceless Void. When you get those hyper late game fights, Chrono's a big cooldown, but Naga keeps on doing what Naga does best.
You're gonna have a lot of diffusals as well. One on Weaver about to be completed. Same goes for Naga. To the man, it's his next item.
Heals. But they don't have the damage. Double-headed dragon is quite tanky, and Nika Baby move forward, but no one's going to be found. Or is it S4 being found? He has got the Primal Roar, but they need at least 3 heroes to kill off this Naga.
30 seconds for the chrono, so it's quite far away.
Exactly, and this is a bit of a dicey chase, right? Like, that's another thing for Alliance. Your catch is meant to be Hanskin, and he's not participated in the last few fights.
Just give him some time, man. Where's the rush? It's only 17 minutes. He's died a couple of times. Let him farm the jungle a bit. He'll get there.
That's true. The jungle's probably a better place for him to be. There's less chance the VP heroes just run at you straight away. Whereas so far, the game has felt like they see Hanskin hit a single creep in the lane top, they scream Hanskin's name, and then run to the top.
Well, no one is actually singing his name, yeah. Can he echo this? No. Maybe with some rotation. Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't think
surprised.
They had TP. Actually, they did have TPs available.
Of course they did. They're not playing in your rank, dude. Everyone has TPs here.
Liz, don't give me that shtick. I know they do it in your pub games as well, okay?
I know I don't have TPs, Liz, so...
See, like, one more creep, buddy. One more creep.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Push on the bot lane. And there won't be a reflective movement on the top. Although VP heroes are nearby and the stance comes out to Hanskin. So there it is. Inkswell chased in. The TP's already happening and they'll back away. They have forced FNG here, but they're not in position to make a move on the other side of the map.
Yeah, this was really telegraphed. Hanskin should know 100% that they want his death as soon as possible so that they can delay that dagger a bit longer. But I think Virtus Pro should chill. They'll understand that they can't take him anymore.
Solo just doing solo things. It's okay. I mean,
Dyer's
well, it's not
middle
okay. It gives a
tower is under
decent
attack.
chunk of change compared to the POS 5 on the side of Alliance.
He went for a medallion. I would be surprised if he didn't go for Force next. I think it's a really solid item this game, just to help out versus the Nether Toxin. You could go for something like a Solar Crest or a Glimmer as well to help you out versus all the magic damage and the Chrono. That's also an option.
I think 4-star just seems like the best, right? Because then you can save whoever's in the Nether Toxin. You've got multiple heroes that don't want to get stuck in there. Rezo is lurking around bot. S4 was looking for him, but it looks like he's just going to keep cutting these waves so they can't push in hard on the bot lane, which is obviously what Beastmaster wants to do.
That's such a good tier 2 item. And they just got a net, clumsy net again. So you have the ensnare from the Naga, now you have the clumsy net too.
True, we did mention the lockdown, how it's, you know, limited in terms of which heroes have it. So Eng can contribute more to the fights now. There might be a fight happening bot soon though. Heroes are starting to rally around this bot area. It seems like Nika Baby's just been content to farm in the meantime. Feeling confident about how he'll match up against the Naga if they continue at this rate.
I mean, Void is scary. Later on in the game, you can be as tanky as you want, but he's going to chrono you for a really long time. And also, he's going for Mjolnir. I was thinking maybe he'll go for Axe this game. I have seen a lot of mid lane.
They're going Nika Baby. The BKB gets forced out straight away. The Soulbind is only onto him, and no one is close enough because Lim can stay out of range. So that has to be brought down. Rezo, we chased on 2 next. They've got the Roar, but they don't have the range right now. Hans can have the Blink, however, and that will give them the range they need. Okay, they'll save the Primal Roar. Nico Baby does not hesitate to throw out that Chrono for a kill to Rezo, who's on the kill streak.
It's a good kill. It's a good kill. You know how elusive Void Spirit is, so using that Chrono on him is definitely fine. Also, the first BKB has been used by Nico Baby. Mid lane.
That's the defusal reveal. Limp is feeling the pain right now. That's the second defusal. Ooh.
They still have the Roar.
I don't need my mana. They still have the Roar, but no one. He plays a bit of SingStar on the weekends. He knows how to get out of this one.
Does he?
Hans gonna he doesn't want to go. He did have the Blink ready. I think the other thing to highlight also is that Alliance that mid lane, that was kind of optimal situation because they did actually scan out VP's smoke when they were trying to get in. The question is, when are we looking towards Roche in this game? Because now Song is down, you've got Echo Slam. Maybe if you're Alliance, you could go get yourself a second life.
Both of these teams do rush really well. I don't see a clear favorite, and there's the Tornado. I think that was... What was it? Was it Enchantress or Beast? That was Beasts, yeah.
Beast has still got that roar. But so far, VP, I mean, they're ducking and diving. They're doing a good job of staying away. And they have to against this Shaker with the Blink now.
Need to be careful though, because S4, he's on a hunt and he sees them with a Hawk.
Yeah, and Hanskin, he's got that Blink. Like, this is the thing. The vision in conjunction with the Shaker's initiation potential is good. That's we brought down. Soulbind's going to be there. They need to be careful. So Hanskin's waiting for his opportunity to jump right now. No one will chase it. There's the Echo Slam on the lose as well. Down to half HP already. The BKB gets out back. Nico Baby moves in. He'll look for the kill. The buyback comes out on the Grimstroke. They've already lost both the Saga and the Void Spirit. And that won't be all they'll lose. Solo's going to be brought down. The rest of VP do retreat. And that is going to be the pit secured by the side of Alliance.
Straight into the pit. You have a lot of utility that S4 brings there. You have the Nether Toxin. The damage really is not lacking. And the most important part is you're not afraid of anything that Virtus.pro can come with. Weaver might try to steal it to Sakuchi, but I think that's probably not gonna happen.
I think if you do that, you die, Liz.
Yeah, 100%. Also, I'm surprised they decided to fight there, because you know there's a Hawk on top of you, so that vision is very beneficial for Alliance, and you don't have Song. So if they go on the Naga, she just dies. And they did see the Shaker. He was sitting in vision.
I think the other thing to highlight about that, right, is like VP identifies Shaker as a problem. They're also split up. But we see the weakness of Naga against that Shaker, right? It's like you create your own problem with all these illusions as soon as you summon.
I just see a lot of problems on the side of VP. Their catch is very limited. Their stuns are very expensive. What are their stuns actually? You have
Inkswell, Aether Remnant, neither of these are reliable so far.
That's not reliable, especially the Inkswell, because it's purgeable, and you can purge it with Beastmaster's Necros every... Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you do have the clumsy net, and you've got this Yules that can set up the Aether Remnant, but it's nothing compared to a Primal Roar or a Chrono or even an Ice Path.
Yeah, I'm just saying a lot of issues. It's not even the disables themselves, it's the damage from the side of Virtus Pro. It's very lackluster. Like, your Naga has Manta Diffusal, that's fine. But she needs a BKB because of the break, and your Weaver is also going for a BKB. And that item doesn't really help you that much versus the Roar and the Chrono. And it's not going to give you some big power spike that's going to enable you to just destroy them. However, truth be told, it does help a lot versus Shaker.
That's true. But you're right about the damage side of things, right? There's double differ. It's not like you're playing against this Leshrac or some of the huge mana pool. We saw on Limp, right? When both diffusal carriers melted his mana pool, he still had like a core of his life, and they couldn't finish it. Now Alliance, they're gonna look to finish the build. They do have to move up to the high ground temporarily. They've got the Chrono to play with, so they don't even have to feel that threatened here. And you already see VP, they just split the map. LTW pushing top, no one farming the dire jungle, and Limp just role-playing machine gun right now.
Yeah, and he hits so hard with this fighter. He has the talent for 100 attack range. This solo might be dead, yep.
Will he die solo though? Ooh, Nico bait.
He's just baiting. Yeah, he wasn't gonna Chrono there. It's just a bait.
No, because if you Chrono and they have buybacks, then all of a sudden you have to leave. When you do this instead, they always remember that you have Chrono.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
He wants to catch a kill on his eyes. He needs to be careful. The Inkswell might hit him up, but oh, there it is. Limp with the kill secure.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
One good thing that no one has done, he creep skipped pretty much every lane, so they don't have any more creeps to work with. They barely even got this side of Raxes, or at least the melee. So no one did a pretty good job creep skipping here and delaying the game a little bit.
Primal around, Macropie down, they can start follow up on a Weaver, and there it is, the Echo Slam jumping. Tug on this Knight, and the Knight will feel long for VP because, as you said, he has bought some of that creep push in. But they do have plenty of time left on that Aegis, about a minute and a half.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They're severely missing a big front-lining hero on the side of VP. Someone that can just jump in and...
Something like
this that Solo is doing.
Yeah. Someone
but without dying.
Centaur, right? I mean, if only this team was known for picking Centaur, it could have relieved some of the problems.
So Rezo can fit that role as well, but he's a bit underfarmed, and he's not really your hero that is going to soak in all the damage. He's just a hero that's going to go in and create some chaos, right? But the follow-up is also very minimal. The more this game goes on, the more apparent the flaws of the draft become. But
yeah,
maybe if you buy enough time. Naga has the BKB. Weaver has it as well. You have 10 seconds BKB. It's pretty much now or never. You really need to take a good fight.
That moment where the Aether Remnant somehow hits the creep behind Boyd is a painful moment. Maybe you could put it down BKB Chrono straight away without hesitation into the Naga Siren, and no one being backed up. He's going to be brought down dead for 50 seconds. No buyback, and they will realize that very quickly.
That
he did buy out the new item.
About to run out. The Aegis will run out in 10 seconds. They timed that so perfectly well on the side of Alliance.
Radiant's top tower.
This is keys to the base. You know, this is going to be a second lane. Of course, the other lane is a bit like tier 2. Okay, might be keys to more from his raid. Weaver's brought down the Primal Roar, having been thrown out. Rezo trying to move away. That's all your spells used. Time Dilate hurts him a little bit, but he's still got cooldowns even when he gets rid of it. He's gone. Zion, but like kill after kill, wherever we go, we find something to murder, and they'll go back.
That's a GG. That's a GG roleplay.
isn't
Yeah,
the
man.
case.
Hands can right now when he whacks someone with that totem, he's like yeah every single time because they killed him so many times in that lane. Like I think he died 5 times before he got 4 or 5 times before he got his blink dagger. They really had a hard on just killing him constantly and delaying it, and he must feel really good after this victory. Yeah, you really can see the flaws of this draft. Viper, I think I'll